Hey guys, welcome back to my fourth stream. It is 7:47 p.m. Saturday, December 10th, and I'm here in my backup studio. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest with you. I am a little bit nervous and a little bit, I don't know what's going to happen tonight, because tonight I am reacting to my mom's first live stream on her channel. She's been streaming before, but she's never done one on her own channel. And I really have no idea where this should go. I think what she's going to try to do is talk about her issues with her mom, which we've been talking about for years. So I think she's going to try to address it, and I'm a bit late because she's already gone live. But I'm just going to be live reacting to that and see what happened. What happens? Rizza's here. Hi, Gracie. Hi, Rizza. Knee up is cute. Thank you. It makes me feel like it's like a little more cozy. I don't know. Oh, okay. I don't know why. I was just nervous. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you. Sorry. I was gonna voice call Michelle before I started this because I was like, I'm kind of nervous about this, and Michelle's kind of nice to talk to, but I didn't have time because I had to mop up all the water that got everywhere after my dad's hot tub stream because it was my fault. I didn't plug it well enough and it kind of leaked. So, anyways, my mom is live right now. The title of her stream is "Gotta Get This Weight Off of My Shoulders. F you, Mom." So, let's see what we got here. Oh, hang on one second. Move it over. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Thanks for coming. We're gonna see where this goes. I don't care if nobody really watches. I don't know. It's easier for me to react to what my mom is up to at a distance than it is in person. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. So we'll see what happens. Scape Debate says, "Hi, Grace. Hi, chat. Hi, Scape Debate. I wish I knew who Scape Debate was because I really feel like I've seen him everywhere, but I've
in the way I treat people. So,
all right, let's see here.
don't ever
There's no
don't
audio.
ever think anything different. I'm just telling you up front. Like, I am a maniac.
Crazy?
I'm like,
There's no audio on this.
I'm crazy. I'm mean.
From her?
I'm vicious. So, like, don't be fooled by anything that I do. So that's my banner. Those are my rules. Don't feel bad for me. I'm an abuser. I'm gonna put that away. So now I can be so up front, I'm telling you up front, that's who I am. I'm not a nice person. So don't get fooled by me. I'll cry. I'll try to manipulate you. If you say anything bad about me, like, I'll cry. Just, I think it'd be better if, like, anybody who listened to this would just say, stop your shit, that kind of stuff. Ask me questions that might, like, maybe, I mean, I do want some help, but, like, ask me questions that will help me, and don't try to, don't try to take my side. It wouldn't be good for me. So, all right. So today I am going through.
Okay. Already, I don't really understand how she's setting this up because I thought this was her talking to her mom, who is an abuser. So why can't the chat take your side against your abusive mom? But okay, strange.
Sorry.
Okay.
I want to talk about psychotherapy a little bit before I begin. Because a lot of people have told me to go to therapy, and I have a few thoughts about that, and I wanted to share them with you. So so again, psychotherapy first, and then going into, like, just watching a video about narcissism and asking some questions. And then after that, I would like to read some texts that I sent to my mother and my sisters. And then I'll wrap it up trying to speak directly with my mother as kind of a part of my therapy to kind
Michelle says, "Hi, my name is Courtney. Trash me, please." Yeah, I don't really get it, Michelle. I mean, she doesn't know I'm doing this reaction to her. I don't think so. Hopefully, that'll take the pressure off or whatever. But I mean, I don't really get it. She's making a stream about how she is a victim of her mother, genuinely. So why? I don't know. I don't really get it. Riza says finger on lip is pretty hot. Thank you, Riza. Thank you. I'll do it more for you. Okay, let's get back
I
to
mean, I just want to like tell you my story here. I don't want you to try to rewire my brain right away. Just want you to hear what I have to say. And, you know, like, wouldn't you possibly like let somebody, if you're a psychologist, like kind of say, like, this is what I need to do rather than like you coming in saying, like, I met you once, this is what you need to do. So I do think like a lot of psychologists have an angle. They all seem to have an angle that they want to kind of impose on you. So like it makes you feel like they're not really listening to you because they just want to get to their angle because I think they think obviously like it works. It's this is what's going to make you better. And but there's a lot of different ways you can, I think there's a lot of different methods and strategies. So you would think that they would take that into consideration and say like, well, maybe this person needs something different instead of just kind of starting with their angle. I've noticed it's always their angle. Um, but the thing about psychotherapy is that I felt like I was above it. Like I was too good for it. I felt like I don't know, like I don't want to label. I don't want to I don't want to say that anything happened to me. I don't want to
thank you.
claim. I don't want to identify with like a narcissist, like saying my mom's a narcissist or um I'm a victim of that or I have PTSD. All those labels seem kind of awful. And I've seen that like when people start identifying with those labels, it doesn't do them any good. But on the other hand, like being above it, like
All
meaning
right,
like
I'm just gonna turn it
I
down so
look
I
down
can
my
move
nose at
on
like
to the
the
chat.
whole thing and like
Or
I'm a
Uncle Max
mess.
says Courtney should
I'm
take
a
a rage
total
out
mess.
on those
So like
plants. Maybe.
and
I
people
mean,
are telling me to go
I
see a
wouldn't be opposed to it.
therapist
She kind of already
and
has
I'm
because
looking
she
down my nose and say
helped
like,
me water
yeah,
them or
that
anything. So
okay, what do I know at this
you're
point?
kind of halfway.
So
Indigo, hi Indigo.
um I did get
Lisa got
online,
me here
which I
because I
think
didn't
is
have
kind of funny
personalized
and silly because
notification
I'm
that this was
51
going
and like
live.
51 years old going
Oh, what do you
online
mean that
for a
I'm supposed to
therapist, but
message
I
you every
did
time I
follow
go
through
live?
with it and
I
I
sent
got
it in the Discord. Pay
set up with a
attention. Pay
therapist who
attention,
I spoke
Indigo.
to for the first time
How's your
a couple
relationship
days
with your
ago.
grandma, Grace?
And
My mom's mother, my grandmother.
he's black
Um,
and um I
not
actually
good,
really liked
not
him,
good. She was
but
always
he he was
maybe I should just
he was
mute this while I respond to this question. She was always like extremely just very like cold in a weird way. Like she was warm, but it was super fake. And I noticed that even when we were younger, she would always do this thing. She's like, "Oh, give me a kiss," and she'd be like, and it was like she never like talked to us like normal people. So eventually, I went to my grandma's house once for a visit, and she served us like cold hot dogs, and she didn't, take us anywhere or do anything with us. And after that, I ghosted her and never spoke to her again because I couldn't take it. She would send manipulative texts and she just never really treated me like a person. And I just kind of felt like, well, I don't really know you at all. So, Grace, what was that imitation? Lol. Yeah, that is what she sounds like. It's yeah, my grandma on my mom's side is. I never connected to her. You know how you're supposed to like love your grandma and stuff. Like she just seemed like kind of like a crazy lady who wanted validation from us as kids, and I was kind of like, okay, I guess. But once I got older, I was like, this this doesn't make any sense. Grace is officially a girl streamer because she's got the knee in frame. That's true. Well, it's just more comfortable. Okay, let's get back to
hard to
why.
think, really hard to think when you're anxious all the time. I think that like you hey Indigo, my first chatter. This is
Indigo
great
has
news. Yeah.
abandoned us.
Um I was just kind of complaining that like everybody has a certain angle in therapy and like, I'm kind of snooty about it. So, but I think this guy, I'll just call him Orlando. Um I think Orlando had a good point that like I just needed to kind of do stuff. He's basically saying like you have to do stuff that you like to do 2 times a day. because he asked me like, how many times have you done all, he asked me what I like to do, and I gave him a list. It was kind of hard to come up with. And then he's like, how have you done these things? When was the last time? And it was like, I haven't done anything. Like, I just wake up and I'm like in my head, etc. So he said I should do those things. I actually didn't. I did two of them the first night, and then I didn't do them. So I guess I'm like kind of a hard case. Like, I just
This is for
won't
her
do
online
what people tell
therapy,
me to
I
do.
guess.
So but he yeah, so I think I should do those things. I should do things that I like, but Indigo, I just have to say, like, if you're watching this, you don't have to watch this. You don't have to watch this. It's good. I mean, like, it's fine. I like having you here, but like, it's fine that I have 3 viewers. It's fine that nobody's chatting, because I kind of want to build this stream up and be more confident, and less like this. And I think it's going to be good. I think I can do it, and I think it's going to be interesting. But for right now, it's just kind of like I have a tendency to ask a lot of my audience, and so
Well, then why don't you do a better
you
job
know,
instead
whatever.
of telling them what to
Um,
watch?
well,
Indigo,
it's funny
how do you
because
feel? You're Indigo, you're welcome here whenever you want. I would never tell you you don't have to watch this. You absolutely have to watch all of my streams and chat the entire time. And you left early last night. And, I was upset. So, anyways, you won't get that treatment here.
thinking about the John Lennon song "Mother," and I was thinking like, well, maybe I would sing it or play it.
Oh, God.
And so I looked at the lyrics, and somebody had said, like, sometimes on Google it comes up like other questions that people have had about the song "Mother," and I looked into that, and apparently John Lennon wrote it after he had done primal scream therapy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna get better. Thank you.
She should bring up the chat.
So
He's
yeah,
responding to them.
I hope you're doing good too, Indigo. You've always been such a sweetheart. I really appreciate it. So yeah, primal scream therapy, and I was just like, huh, okay, well, I mean, that sounds interesting, and it sounds like more of like what I would be into than like trying to do kind of get my cortisone levels up and or down, and that kind of like management kind of technique that psychiatrists or psychologists can sometimes do. So I looked it up, um, and the first video, I saw something, and then I saw something else.
This is all just a distraction. She knows what she has to do. Primal, I mean, I guess you could do that, but that seems like, I don't know. You're like, she knows what she has to do. She has to figure out what happened with her and her mother and go through it. And anyways, I don't know what primal scream therapy has to do with it, but I guess she's trying, but it seems like that's just distracting you. But
It seemed to be like more of the thing, and I won't say too much about it, but I think like you could probably look at it. So let's see. I'm going to present. Just give me a second. This is a little new to me. And this will also give you an idea of kind of who I am, just because this is fascinating to me. I didn't do it. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Not quite. 1 second. Present. Share screen. Chrome tab. There we go. And share. I did this 5 times before I started. One more time. If I can't do this, I'm just gonna
I sat there showing her how to present on StreamYard. I FaceTimed her before the stream and I showed her how to do it in great detail. And this is one of the things that drives me crazy about her. She pretends that she doesn't know how to do things. I told her how to do this. Look at her. I mean, just Jesus, get it together. You're on a stream.
share screen. Share screen. Can't see it. I'm so sorry. Anybody who's watching. Um right up here. All it's like right there. One more time. Okay, so Google tab.
See, this is one of the things. Okay, I'm just gonna go through it. Okay, I understand that you could be sympathetic to this, but I showed her how to do this step by step. I showed her how to present on StreamYard step by step. I've told her many times how to do this. Yeah, okay. She might just be a boomer. She's not though. She's not a boomer. She knows how to use her brain. This is one of the things I'm confused on cuz am I supposed to be sympathetic to this because I told her how to do it. Look at her. What is she doing?
All right. All right. I can do this another way.
She's trying to present
Sorry, Reza. Hi, Reza. Nice to see you. All right, one more time. Okay. I really wanted you to see this. It's so crazy. It's right here. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see.
I'm gonna try to help her. Oh.
You can
Trying to help her out.
Yeah, me too. I can't. I'm supposed to be dignified. Sorry. Okay. I'm supposed to be dignified. So, not going. Okay. I did. Thank you, Ben. I clicked present. I clicked shared screen. I clicked Chrome tab.
Pepperoni Pizza Kevin is back. He says, I don't think this therapy is very effective. I mean, I really don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is I think that this is undignified for her to act like this. I don't enjoy watching it. There's no reason to act like this. She's not a baby. I showed her how to do this. And I helped her out in the chat. Hopefully she can get it. Okay, taking headphones out now. Sorry, Michelle. And Michelle has a broken or a sprained neck, so she's in a neck brace. So, and now her ears are bleeding. Michelle's having a rough night. Rough night, Michelle. And I ghosted her on Discord. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What's a girl supposed to do? This is so meta. It is meta. It is meta. This is what babies do. It is what babies do. Thank you for saying that, Rini. Yeah, I have a hard time saying that because I feel like I want to be sympathetic to her, but this is what babies do. It's ridiculous. She's 50 years old. She's not. Is she a victim of not knowing how to do this when I showed her how to do it? And I just sent in the chat every step she needs to do to show this video. So, oh, Michelle says no brace today, feeling better. Oh, that's good, Michelle. The Thorpe saga is taking an even darker turn. Yeah. Oh, okay, she got it. All right. Yeah, Indigo, somebody said, I think Riza said you deserve a wrench. You do deserve a wrench, but I can't do that until after, so there's not much to wrench anyways, but I will give you one. Okay, let's see what she's watching.
Of childhood, relive them, and free the real you. What you see here, this
Riza's message is just staying there. I'm getting horny. He's just gonna leave it there. Okay.
Almost every day in the year. We have groups every day. We have 8, 9, 10, 12 therapists working at a time, helping patients into their feelings. And as you can see, it's unlike any other group therapy known in the history of psychology. It is based on a very simple idea, namely that people do not confront each other in group therapy. They confront themselves, the selves that are locked up inside of them.
I was 30 years old before anything good came into my life.
Okay. All right. I got a few things to say about this. Okay, so one thing. I won't disappoint you, Riza. One thing is that like this, I saw a comment underneath this YouTube video, and um, it was
She's
like, "This
not going
is
to
what
read
hell
Riz's
looks like,"
comment.
and I do think that's what hell looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be
Something like that. It's like that is real, live, like hell on earth. I mean, I know that like they're trying to get better, but like if you wanted like what hell looks like, I'm pretty sure that's it. That seems like it. I know a lot of people, I don't know, Riza, if you're religious, but this is what you want to avoid. This is what I want to
I doubt it.
avoid in the afterlife. So, another thing is that like I'm laughing at this guy. Like I'm not laughing at that, like I'm kind of laughing at the whole thing. Like these, idiotic people screaming and crying, and like I mean, it's just like it seems to lack dignity, and um
Isn't it ironic that she says that, but she literally just screamed on camera about a tech issue? Like, screamed?
I think that I could probably like if I didn't have this psychologist or therapist telling me like, "Hey, work on like doing things you like that's probably not going to do it for me." What about like something like this? Like this would be more my speed. This is crazy. I don't, so I'll just play some more. Hang on a
She's going to
second.
leave Riz's chat up.
In a minute.
Thank you,
So
Steve.
that
Yeah,
might give you an
it is ironic.
indication of like kind of where I'm at.
And Christian Science taught me it was my only mother and my only father that I ever had. And it taught me how to be honest. And it taught me that there was truth. And it taught me to look into myself. And it brought me here. And what I realized is that it was why I never talked about it. It is because I didn't want to give it up. Because it was the only mother I ever.
The man is having a problem about saying goodbye to religion, as it were. Religion was his companion, his friend, and really all he had in life. And now that he's got himself, he finds that he needs it less. And if you're wondering about religion and what happens, many of the people do eschew, get rid of their religious background, as it were. Very few patients end up religious. And it's not because of any ideology that we place in the patient's head. It's simply that they find they no longer need symbols.
So I think that's interesting. That
His
once you
chat
go
is
through this
still up.
therapy that you say like I don't need God anymore. I've got myself. Like I don't know. Like it seems like if that
She's just talking and just, I'm getting horny. It's just there. It's so funny.
whatever really hurt you. And
That's
Riza,
gotta
I
be the
know that you
best.
think that this is super self-indulgent. Like when I do it, it's super self-indulgent to like go back into the past and say like, what is the problem? But like, I think there's something to this
You started it in
because I think I don't know. I've been carrying around like a huge weight my whole life. So I want to get rid of it. And I don't know how else to do it except by like going into it. And I want to go into it. Like I really want to like get into it. But then again, you could say that like I don't want to get into it because I'm not really talking about like what it is right now that like is the real problem. I'm just watching this and kind of trying to stay kind of removed from it. But I actually just enjoy watching this video because it is so crazy and I don't know, there's something compelling about it. So I'll just keep going with that.
She didn't even bring the video up. So now it's just
Also, the 70s kind of look to it is pretty awesome. These poor people.
What did you want me to be? I wasn't a bad boy. I wasn't a bad boy.
the combination of her watching this without the video playing, so it just sounds like she's looking at somebody being murdered. Plus, Riz's chat staying up is just
feelings, quite apart from whatever else is going on. I mean, people are reliving, as you see Pat on the floor, reliving pre-verbal material, scenes that happened to her at the age of 2. The scene that has all of this agony that she is reliving on the floor is a rape scene by her father at the age of 2. She was raped, bloody, and almost murdered. And she will have that primal dozens and dozens of times because the load of pain is so intense. It could not possibly be relived in one setting.
I was here being with it. I just went to my father.
Okay. This is kind of tough to watch. So just respond to a couple comments. Riza says, I don't mind people being self-indulgent. Yeah. Hey, Presley. Okay, Riza. So then I would wonder what you think of this video. Because is it self-indulgent? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be. It seems like these people are going into a really dark place, but I don't know, maybe it is self-indulgent, like, and maybe it's all kind of like a fake, like maybe you can't just do this, and like maybe it doesn't work. Indigo says, I don't think I'm if you guys type anything, it's all going up there because I love Rissa's because there's not a lot of chatters, but Indigo says, I don't think therapy has to be scary, extreme and scary though, just saying. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, you're more of like a gentle soul. Like just for people who don't watch, I know Indigo a little bit, and although other people say he's not a gentle soul, like I think he is. So maybe like for him, like this would be super crazy. But
who says Indigo isn't a gentle soul? I think everybody says Indigo is a gentle soul.
I'm like crazy. Everything I do like super crazy. It's all so intense, and so like this is why this stuff is attractive to me. Hey, Presley, here to support. Glad I found your channel. Well, actually, Presley, I appreciate that. And I think that you probably mean support the channel, but I did make a stupid banner. And I don't know if you saw it, but here's my rules. No supportive messages. Tell me the truth. Don't feel bad for me. And I'm an abuser. So if it's to support the channel, great. If it's to support me, no, do not do that. It's bad. Okay. So,
again, I don't understand that. It seems extremely confusing. She is not being an abuser by doing this. She's facing her abuser. So I would think support would be helpful. And I think it's, well, I just don't understand why she says things like that.
I don't know if I agree with you. It seems like these people go in really painful places to try to get something out. Like, how is that self-indulgent? Then Hormaxer, who's here just to insult me, of course. Courtney, take your rage out on the plants. That's interesting. Actually,
he used that joke over here. He's using old material.
Because like I can't do it here, but when I get my computer set up where at my place, like I wanted to like destroy stuff. Like I just wanted to like I wanted to do some of the stream, like, but then I just wanted to like smash stuff to pieces because I felt like that would be something like what these people are doing, that it could be like really like, I don't know, good to do that. And I don't know, fun. So, but I can't do it on the plants. They're not my plants. And I wouldn't want to do it to the plants, but I would want to smash some stuff up. So, okay. And it's not, I mean, obviously like watching a 51-year-old woman smash stuff up, I think I could really like do a lot of damage. I think that it would be funny to watch, because like I'm not super fit. So it'd be like this, whatever I am. All right. So
I mean, I think she's missing the fact that it would be disturbing if she did that, but okay. Honestly, guys, I'm confused. Send what you think so far, because I find this very confusing to watch personally. I just don't know what to make of it, honestly. So, send your thoughts. I'm confused so far. Maybe I'll get more of an idea of what's going on.
People say like, well, what's going on here? And so I'm going to try to figure that out. And I'm going to go through stuff and okay. All right. Thanks, Presley. She said if okay. Sorry. Rennie said, hi, Corday, just subbed. Don't be a victim. Okay, thanks, Rennie.
Rennie is
Okay,
still a
bye.
savage.
Bye, Rennie. I know you're part of the other crew. Hormax.
What? So she okay. So this is okay. That's fascinating. So she's instantly pitting Rini again. Like she's putting Rini. She's making teams. She's saying that Rini's on my side or my dad's side and not on her side. Oh, okay, that is something that she does to people. Instead of welcoming Rini, she says like, "Oh, I get it. You're on their side." Okay.
I'm a kinky slut. Okay, hang on a second.
Oh, what did she?
Let me send out the
the
StreamYard
others.
link.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right. So
Yes.
Seamus says, if you discover Ben is a narcissist, not you, he will never accept.
I do think she's idling so she doesn't have to do whatever she's supposed to do. And I, watching this, I'm kind of saying to myself, like, I don't really, whatever, but I don't really think it would be that hard for her to just kind of get into the thing about her mom. I'm, I think once you get going, like, just get into it. But, yeah, I think you're totally right, Rini. I think she's idling.
That's one of the things I wanted to go over today was that, like, if I was raised by a narcissist, then I
How do you mean, Mike?
would have a lot
really
of trouble
saying that.
figuring out what's true and what's not true. And so if I, that's the point. Like I try to figure out what's true. Riza says, look up the dark triad. That's what indigo is. I will look it up. I can't do it on this computer or I'll mess everything up. Okay, I will. Yeah, okay, I will. Yeah, I will. And thank you for the invite.
I'm getting slandered, Grace. I'm getting slandered. The Lord is being slandered. First, people say that you're not a pure soul, and she says like, "No, I think you are." And now you're part. Oh God, this. Oh no.
Hey, Riza. Is he muted?
All right.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is very true, Mike. She's turned, and this is true, right? She doesn't care about me as a daughter. Like, if I do well in something, she sees it as an insult to her because I'm doing better than her. And that genuinely is true. She sees our relationship as a competition. I don't think it's ever once occurred to her to just be proud of me as a daughter for doing something. Like, seriously, not once has she ever just said, like, you're my daughter and I'm proud of you for just accomplishing something great. It's always like, well, I guess you did an okay job, but like it's bizarre. And when I kind of started talking to my dad again, back in sophomore year of high school, she almost instantly turned it into, "Oh, you two are against me," instead of like she just like it seemed like she completely forgot that I was her daughter at all. So, yes, Mike, yes, she likes to make strategic alliances. She sees every relationship in terms of power, which I understand because it comes from her mother, but it's really damaging because you end up saying like, what do I have to do to gain your love or your trust? Because you just see our relationship in terms of the power dynamic. You don't actually care about me as just like a daughter. So, yes.
Indigo to turn up?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He's a.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. That's all right. Don't mind.
Is indigo like is there like a dark side to indigo? Is that what you're kind of trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know about the dark triad? Google the dark triad and read it to us.
Okay, hang on a second. I'll do it on my phone so I don't lose anything.
No.
I like Riza, but I mean, she's I think she has something to do here that I think she knows that Riza does, why does Riza always show up to do the same gimmick? It is funny. It's funny, but I don't know. Riza will go on anything at any time. So what does Indigo have to do with anything? Yeah, I really think, I would just say you should get into the stuff about your mother and let that carry you, because things will come up. But if you're just going to deflect and just avoid it, then I guess we'll just, maybe this will just be me watching my mother just absolutely avoid doing, you know, talking about her mother in any way, which is just proof that, I don't really care, but I mean, it's just proof that she doesn't care about us at all. She doesn't really care about anything. She doesn't want to do it, and maybe she just won't do it. So
Wasn't it funny that she can hang around looking sloppy like that? And I don't know.
But no, but
Look,
she pulls it off. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to diss her because she's a nice person. Hold on a
I
second.
hate. No, I really can't stand nice people. By the way, just so
Okay.
you know,
All right. Well,
I
then
hate them.
you'll like me because I'm an. All right. So I
And I
just
do
looked
like
at.
you.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you. I'm like one of the things
commiserate
that I was just like I just
shit.
don't want to act bougie, and I feel like I'm acting bougie right now. But like this is like I get so crazy. But here we go. This is the dark triad, Machiavellianism.
Yeah, she's just not gonna do it, Grace. I mean, maybe it's kind of fascinating, to watch it live and to kind of say, like, is she just not gonna do it? Because it's been 36 minutes. And the thing is, I have no, yeah, Courtney's derailment stream. I have no sort of reason to believe that she will do it, but for some reason I'm like kind of saying to myself, like, no, she's definitely gonna get into the stuff about her mom and eventually stop being like deflecting. But she might just tire herself out doing stupid stuff. I have no reason to believe she wouldn't, and yet there is this impulse in me to be sympathetic and say, like, well, I understand you're nervous and stuff. Is she live now? Yes. Yeah, she's live right now. I just posted, if you want to go over there, I posted her stream link in the chat.
He's a snake in the grass, dude.
I don't believe you.
Courtney, hi, Grace, hi, Hornmaster. Courtney, I have a quick question. You
Yeah.
mentioned on your daughter's stream you used to smoke weed. Have you tried
Mhm.
psychedelics at all? Like maybe you need some mushrooms or a ayahuasca experience, DMT.
Yeah, I'm sure
Something
she
like
enjoys
that
her
could help
DMT
you
and drugs.
possibly.
Yeah, fuck me, dude.
Fuck you. They are using that in psychedelic treatment in America. You're from the UK, where you guys are still in the Stone Age. This is America.
I want to bring this up from Mike. It's good that your father has been emotionally available and you've been there for him too. It has been. It's been a huge gift from God that my father has been emotionally available. Like, unbelievable. I don't know what people, I can't imagine going, like, none of this really would have happened if my dad wasn't emotionally available, because he would have just not dealt with this thing with my mom, right? So he's emotionally healthy. But this thing, I've been there for him too. I haven't really. I've been an extreme mess this entire time. And somebody said something on another stream that I believe is true in the chat. Somebody said, like, I think it was Rainy. What I do is I sort of attack my dad to see if he'll attack me back. So I'm constantly testing him emotionally, because that is what my mom used to do. So that's basically what's been going on for like about 5 years with me and my dad. So I have not been there for him. But have I been like a nice person sometimes and we've had some good times? I think yes. But have I been like real, like, have I been like keeping him going or anything? No. It's been 100%, like, yes, 100% me clinging onto him, sort of constantly asking for validation, constantly attacking him. It has not been like both ways. Hopefully someday it could be, but right now and for the past 5 years, like, it just hasn't. It really hasn't. Which I really appreciate, thank you to the Lord for giving me a dad who put up with that, but whatever. Anyways, I just want to clarify that.
That stuff when I was in college, like it wasn't for therapy or anything.
Mhm.
But I guess like I don't know, like I don't to me it seems like that's a ride that maybe I want to I guess maybe I just want to be in control. I don't want to
Let
like.
me ask you this. Where's your father at? Were you raised by a single mother, or did you have a
Fuck you.
father in the house?
Oh, you're such a boring idiot, dude.
I
You
mean,
really are.
Look, Reza,
You really are.
Reza.
Look,
Reza, I'm trying to be
listen,
polite.
listen to me. Listen to
I'm
me,
trying to be
Spaghetti-O.
polite. I'm trying to be polite.
You got blown out last night by Grossly. Don't let me blow you out tonight.
You want to blow me? Whoa!
I'll blow
Don't
you
blow
out.
your dog's
Bro.
ear. Your dog's ear.
All right, that's stupid. Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Thank you for watching. Lauren is so nice. A daughter needs her mother's approval. I think it isn't fair at all for you to have to be the go-between in all of it. Yes, a daughter doesn't need her mother's approval, but it really makes a difference. I would say that's different than being the go between. The thing is, I was sort of the catalyst for all of it, and whether that's fair or not, I agree in a way. Like, I think it isn't fair, but I don't really think that's either my mom's fault or my dad's fault. It's God, right? I mean, he put me as the oldest kid, as a girl, and her abuse of me was sort of the trigger of all of this. So, is it not fair? I don't know. Is anything God does not fair? I think it's a challenge to me, but I absolutely have thought and continue to think that it's not fair and get angry at that. But I agree. I think a daughter would like a mother's approval, and it is, I guess I have low self-esteem or whatever because of that. Or what I always feel like is that because I don't have the approval of my mother, I kind of am faking confidence, but I don't really have it, which I'd like to get to a place where I just have confidence and I'm not, I'm always looking for her validation. It's true. Or for her to pay attention to me. And I think that's a sick thing, but that is kind of what it created. So let me see. Are those two there to assist in this process, or just to put a spotlight on themselves and attempt to be funny? Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's the internet, right? So who's really gonna help? But I think I really appreciate my chat right now. So I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate what you guys are saying. I think, I don't know. I think that, are they there to help? I don't know. Let's see here. When parents look for their children for support, it only leads to a very unhealthy family. My dad has never looked to me for support in that way, like emotional support. But excuse me, I do think it's reasonable for him to look to me to be like, helpful with cleaning and, setting up stuff and not lashing out at him emotionally. And I have done all of those things. Sorry, I haven't done all those things. So I think it is reasonable for a dad to ask that of his daughter. My dad says, I think a daughter should align herself with her father. Shouldn't be a problem unless the mother wrecks that. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm faking it, but I remember when I was younger, and even though it was weird between my parents, even when I was younger, I remember that I was just like very naturally close to my dad, and I didn't have to sort of, I don't know. I mean, I was kind of like a crazy kid, but I just remember like not having this sort of barrier between us that, my mom has put there. And it was really it was just way, like everything was kind of just flowing, like he would teach me like grammar because I was homeschooled, and I wasn't like doubting him or thinking that like maybe he was angry at me or that I was angry at him. This just wasn't all this emotional craziness there. I just enjoyed him teaching me stuff, and I thought he was like really smart and everything. And so it was better back then, and it makes me kind of, I don't know, hate my mom for what she's done to that. And I think I should be, I'm not, I don't think my mom is right about this. I think that I should be like, I am a victim of her doing that. I'm a victim of that. Like, that was taken away from me. And I hate her taking that away from me. Because, you know, she wanted my dad all to herself, or
Out.
Okay, hang
We'll
out.
hang out.
I want to
It's
watch
your
more of
stream.
this. I want to watch more of this.
Yeah.
And because I don't know, is it just sick for me to want to watch this?
The thing was that my father.
Wait a minute, I didn't put it on there.
And how
It's a stick for me to
No.
want to watch you
No, no,
slaughter
watch it.
lingerie. Sorry.
That's a good question.
You're disgusting, bro. You're disgusting.
she's just not doing what she's supposed to do. Rini says, this is interesting. No shade to Courtney, but she's weak. I wonder what you mean by that, because my mom is actually not weak. She ran a restaurant essentially on her own. And she's been through a lot of suffering and done a lot of extreme evil to people. So what do you mean by weak? Like, she can't handle this? She should boot all 3. Yeah, she should. It makes you wonder why she wouldn't, because isn't she just avoiding doing what she needs to do? Lauren says, how did she take it exactly? Oh, how did she take away my relationship with my dad? Well, so he started a restaurant. Essentially, this is when things broke down, although it was weird before then. When we started the restaurant, she was resentful of my dad for starting the restaurant. And so she didn't get over that. She didn't kind of make her peace with it. So then that resentment sort of slowly trickled into us as kids. And, you know, she kind of felt like, why couldn't you just stay teaching? It's so unfair. You're ruining the family. We have to go to the restaurant every day, and I can't be a mother to my kids. And of course, I was upstairs above the restaurant, sort of being a mother to my 4 siblings at the time, I think. And I was like 8 or 9 years old. So of course, I'm feeling like this isn't fair. And I didn't realize it's because she, you know, it never occurred to me, like, why do mom and dad not get along? Like, they're doing a restaurant together. Shouldn't they be sort of working together? And if it's not working for one of them, shouldn't the other one kind of try to make that happen? But I just assumed it was my dad. I just kind of said, like, well, dad started the restaurant. He wants to do one of his experiments. He's just testing this out on our family, and he doesn't care about us kids, and he doesn't care about mom. When really, it didn't make any sense what my mom was doing. He was constantly telling her, like, we need to step back. We need to advertise more. We need to, we're not going to be able to keep this restaurant going. And I guess what happened is she just wouldn't listen to him. She kept going in and just making the food and just sort of, I don't know, maybe Dad, you can help. You can explain the situation a little bit more, but I guess she didn't care about how you felt. She didn't care about making it right between you so that you could run the restaurant together. She just sort of thought you were a loser and just assumed you were going to fail. And then when you got tired of it, she just said, okay, he's failing. And then she just decided she was going to run the restaurant on her own and blame it on you, I guess. So that was her fault. But of course, as kids, when your mom is working all the time and dad is, not helping and just seems depressed, and you get stuck upstairs with your siblings all day, and she's like subtly blaming dad all the time, it degrades the relationship. And I don't really think me or my siblings have trusted my dad since then. It's just, after that, it's just been one thing after the next of, like, dad's doing a crazy experiment with our family, and mom's gonna go along with it, and she's gonna rescue it in the end when he falls apart. But the reason that he falls apart is because she doesn't work with him. Here's what happens, right? My dad is an entrepreneurial kind of guy, right? So he has ideas that are good ideas. An Ethiopian restaurant in the city we were living in was a great idea, and people still post on the old Facebook page, like, when are you guys going to reopen? People really loved it. So my dad has a good idea. He wants to make money. He wants to support our family, right? but my mom is hostile to him. So at first, when he's got a lot of energy and he's like, okay, let's do this idea, let's invest the money, let's get people, let's work hard, she's kind of always like, this is, a stupid idea. This is a stupid idea. You're going to ruin our family. She's like just dragging him down. She doesn't meet him at that level and kind of say like, okay, let's do it together. Then when she eventually exhausts him, then she says, okay, I'll save the situation. And this happened multiple times. This happened with the restaurant, and then it also happened with we had an Airbnb business where we ran Airbnbs out of these apartment houses my dad had. At first he was really excited to renovate them and get them going and sell them for a lot, rent them for a lot of money. And then eventually, she was like, this is all crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't want random people in these places. And then he got tired out, and then she took over and rented the rooms at ridiculous prices, like low prices, and sort of tanked it. And then it happened again because eventually we had to sell the houses, and my dad was kind of like, okay, let's sell them ourselves. We don't need to hire an agent. Let's do it ourselves. Let's get all of our stuff together and put it in storage. Let's sell these houses for a good price. We can list it. We can use the kids to help us do it. It'll be fun. It'll be a good teaching experience for them, I think. And then, I think at first she was like, she just kept acting like she was overwhelmed by all of the stuff we had in all these different houses and buildings. And I don't know what to say. It's just every time my dad had an idea, she kind of acted like, this is so crazy. I don't know what you're doing, until he eventually got tired and, his sort of energy to get it going was absolutely drained. And then she would come in and sort of make it happen. So all the kids sided with mom and sort of thought of dad as like a deadbeat kind of guy with cool ideas. So that's the pattern. I forget what even chat. So Lauren was asking, how did my mom take my relationship away from my dad? Well, I believe that's how that happened. Because eventually, when your mom keeps doing that, you lose trust in your dad, and you kind of say like, well, dad's just a crazy guy who just has ideas, and then he doesn't follow through on them, and mom always has to clean up for him. And, why should we trust him? And that has been, that kind of philosophy, or not philosophy, but that sort of pattern has been degrading me and my siblings' relationship with my dad ever since, I don't know, before the restaurant. I remember before the restaurant, before we started the restaurant, I remember we used to go on walks around our neighborhood, and we were looking for a building. Well, my dad was looking for a building that would be a good place for the restaurant. And I remember my dad saw this one building that was kind of a cool building. It was like on a corner and it was blue. I don't know if he remembers it. But he was like, wow, this would be a really cool place for the restaurant. And we could, like it was kind of a shabby building. But he was like, we could fix it up, or, this would be a good location. And I remember we were walking as a family together and she was there. And I remember her just kind of just having this attitude like, this is all so crazy. But she was kind of like, uh-huh, honey. Yeah, sure. Kind of treating him like he was crazy. And I just remember, thinking to myself like, ugh, I hate dad. He always wants to do this. He's going to spend all this money and rent or buy a building, and then we're not going to do it, and it's going to be all his fault. I remember thinking that. And I was kind of like, it just stuck with me. Like, there's nothing wrong with looking for a building for a restaurant if it's a good idea, but she was so hostile. I remember being on that walk and thinking to myself like, I sided with her, but there was a minute where it occurred to me like, why is she so angry at the idea of getting a nice building for this restaurant? That was way before the restaurant started. It was just this sort of, I don't know how to explain it, just subtle hatred. And there wasn't even a good reason, but because she was my mom, and because I don't know why I sided with her. I guess just because she was angry, and I felt like, well, she's angry. She's mom. She wants to protect us kids. There must be some reason she's angry. Oh, this is interesting, Lauren. Lauren says, too many projects that begin but never see an end will make anyone hostile. My dad was the same way, but my mom was a managerial type, so she kept him on track. Right. Okay. Right. But what I'm saying is, it wasn't too many projects. It was one project at a time. And the idea for a restaurant was a project, but it was a really good idea. And the reason it didn't see an end was because of my mom. So I don't like, that's not a reason to be hostile against my dad. Just because he has sort of an entrepreneurial thing and he wants to start, it was a great idea for a business. It could still be booming right now. Like, there is no Ethiopian restaurant within like 100 miles of where we live. And this is a very hipster kind of city or state. So it was a good idea. It wasn't a stupid project. And the reason it didn't have an end was because of her. Did he have a plan going into it? Yes, he did have a plan going into it. He knew he has some Ethiopian friends. He went to their wedding and he was like, wow, this food is really cool and it would be really attractive to people in, you know, this sort of area. And the closest restaurant, which also isn't really a very good restaurant, was 100 miles away or something, a ways away. So he was like, okay, so it'll be a hub, right? It's a very artsy city that it was in. I'll just full screen for a second here. And he was going to eventually sell it to his Ethiopian friend and have the Ethiopian friend sort of run the business because obviously he's Ethiopian. It makes more sense for him to do it. But, you know, so the idea wasn't that it was going to be like that our restaurant for a lifetime. But then, you know, sort of like dad was like the American guy who could invest and get something going. And then, you know, it's an investment. He get a return on this investment. But the Ethiopian guy, you know, because he was an immigrant, he didn't want to risk that kind of stuff. And really, none of these Ethiopian people wanted to risk anything. So they weren't really very good. Like, you know, I guess it's an American thing to sort of invest and have a business. And they just wanted to have easy jobs and just stabilize, which, you know, who knows going into it. You know, you'd think, you know, you see like Indian people running restaurants and whatever. I mean, you know, that's just sort of how the Lord wanted to do it. But we still, you know, he teamed up with a guy who had what do you call it? A nonprofit where in the same city where Ethiopian people were making granola bars. And it was like, you know, super shishi, fancy nonprofit kind of thing. And they were going to team up and kind of like make it a nonprofit thing. It could have made a lot of money. Like, it was a really good idea. So it wasn't just like cross your fingers and hope it works out. It just really wasn't. It would have been a huge success. But my dad says you don't have to explain things to this loser, Gracie. Talk to Mike S. He gets it. Okay. Grace, Lauren is a man hater. She hates her father and her husband. That's why she has no kids after 17 years of marriage. Well, it sounds to me like Lauren is saying that her dad started a bunch of projects and her mom managed him. And that's why. So essentially, she sides with her mom. She thinks her mom is the mature, stable one. And that her dad is sort of like the crazy, but that he had some good ideas, but that he was always starting projects. That sounds a lot like what my dynamic is, Lauren. And I'll tell you, if you think that you have a dad who starts a bunch of projects and never finishes them, but mommy always takes care of it, you hate your dad. You hate him. Because I still hate my dad. I have problems with him. And it gets deep inside of you and you resent your dad and you feel like he doesn't care about you and that he's an irresponsible person and you can't trust him. And then you start not trusting other men and it gets deep inside of you. Very, very deep. even when my dad was starting this YouTube thing, the same things occurred to me. Like, is this another experiment, you know? And my mom wasn't even really around, but it's like the same kind. It's just a very deeply ingrained pattern. And you truly feel hatred against your father because you feel like he doesn't care about your life. Like it's the world is his ego trip or whatever, when it's totally not true. Why the did my dad start a restaurant? So he could get an ego trip? No, he wanted to make money for our family and do something fun. Why? I could see you saying the YouTube thing maybe is an ego trip. I could see you saying that because it's like about yourself. But an Ethiopian restaurant and Airbnbs, like this is an ego trip project. Okay, but what is Mike S saying? Let's see here. Mike says, I know, Ben, she's envious of you and Grace. It's hard for me to say that, but you know, that brings up an interesting point. Somebody said that, my mom, like, somebody said in a chat, well, Grace, at least you're young and pretty and thin or whatever, something like that. Your mom would be so much more unhappy if you were like fat and miserable and 30 years old and living with her. That is not true. She would be at peace. She would give me validation if I was fat, if I was living with her, and if I had some kind of a stupid job and I had given up on my life. She would finally give me the validation that I crave. She would finally talk to me and not act like she's a victim of me. She would finally, I don't know whatever I want from her, she would finally be warm in any way and act like I'm a person and not like I'm trying to bully her constantly and like I'm trying to put her down and I think I'm better than her. She would, because I would say like, I'm not better than you. Look at me. I'm fat and miserable. You are fat. Hey, I mean fat. I mean fat. I could lose a couple pounds. Shut up. Grace loves to bring up how pretty she is in every chat. Hey, it was somebody else, okay? Good women like me, bad women hate me, including men who have their mother's anger like you, Seamus. Yeah. I mean, I think Seamus sometimes comes around a little bit because he sometimes makes some jokes, but he does have, he has a womanly energy. He just is constantly you know what? It's not fair to call it womanly either. It's a like nasty, demonic feminine, not womanly. Let's not just throw women under the bus like that. But yeah, that demonic feminine sort of like wanting to hurt somebody else by making them feel bad. That is what Seamus does a lot of the time in the chat. And it's horrendous. It's horrendous. And yeah. Yes, Mike. Yes, exactly, Grace. If you were 50 pounds heavier and unattractive, your mom would relish your companionship. That is absolutely true. I know that with every fiber of my being. She would relish, yeah, she would finally relax around me and treat me. Well, I mean, maybe that's not true. Maybe she wouldn't really be warm to me or treat me like I'm her daughter and that she's like proud of me in any way or sees me in any way other than as a threat to herself. But this is absolutely true. It's not so much that she would relish my companionship, actually. It's just that she would feel like she's comfortable around me. Which you shouldn't feel like. Talking about your parents is a turnoff. Well, then go be turned on somewhere else, radio, because obviously this is what I'm doing here. Even Grace admits I come around based on the evidence sometimes. Sometimes, Seamus, you do have a little bit of a good spirit. But sometimes you are incredibly nasty, and I don't understand it. And it's like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, oh, I'm a charitable Christian. Like, you're just being nasty, like a nasty, nasty woman. And nasty women hate men, so I don't know what to tell you. Seamus is a fun-loving guy at heart. Yeah, he is. He is. You know, Seamus, he changes his little whatever you call that tag. Jesus loves you. Sometimes it's like, I'm here for Courtney, and he has different emojis. Seamus is Mary. That's an inside joke. It takes too long to explain that one. I'm seeing in the chat that my dad was saying that Lauren hates men because she didn't have kids, and she was saying that she didn't choose not to have kids. She can't have kids, so Lauren, I'm pretty sure my dad didn't know that, okay? Neither did I. And of course, if we knew that you couldn't have kids, we would never use it against you. But if you, like, and I'm sure you would say the same, if you know that somebody's been married for 17 years and you don't know that they can't have kids and they don't have kids, you would assume, like, well, there's something weird going on there, because usually people who have been married for that long would have children. There must be some kind of, like, you guys are not making sense. But that's none of our business. But we just assumed. So, anyways, I know my dad doesn't mean anything against you at all. No way. He's just, he just assumed. He's a nice guy. Come on. He said fed up too, fun-loving gal. Yeah, you're fine. Like, we're not trying to hurt anybody here. Give me a break. We didn't know. My dad says to Lauren, talk to hubby and give me a shot. I think I could push the puck past the goalie. That reminds me of in Seinfeld. What was the thing where Kramer was saying, like, would you believe me if I told you that I never impregnated a woman? And Jerry says something like, you never slipped one past the goalie? And Kramer's like, no. But anyways, women can't retell jokes. I get it. Okay. So that was a bit of a tangent from me. Not with those weekend shoulders. Yes, Lauren is still here. Lauren, okay. Woo. Lauren's not getting all mad and fussy. Because she's chill. Because she's cool. And Mike says, Grace, you're a threat to her value as a woman. Your dad is a threat to her sense of agency. Well, I believe what happened with my mom and me was that when I hit puberty, she saw me as a threat to her marriage, which is, externalizing something, obviously, because, right, you wouldn't think that your daughter is a threat to your marriage in a, like, sexual way, which she did. But I think what it was she knew that there was something wrong in her marriage. And instead of dealing with the issue there, she just sort of externalized it in a crazy way. And, like, because I was, hitting puberty, she's like, okay, I know what... She had known that her marriage was tanking. Everybody knows when a relationship is tanking. They'd gotten further and further apart, and he had actually he had sort of confronted her, which I didn't know about at the time, but he had said, like, we need to work this out, what's going on between us, because the kids are being neglected. But I think, does she really think I'm a threat to her marriage? No. But did she externalize it, which is unbelievable to do to your daughter, to make her feel guilty for perhaps ruining your marriage, which is falling apart because she has boobs, because she's 15 years old. Crazy, evil, but I think that's what happened. Is Courtney's stream still going? Yes, it is. Maybe I should react to that for a little bit, see what's going on over there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Look, it was a great night. We had a load of fun, and you should come back. You should come back again.
Thank you.
If she
Right?
comes to the UK, will you be her tour guide? Reza, will you show her around the UK?
Well, of course.
Okay, but Riza, like, my question to you is, like, do you really have any, like, so your suspicion was that he sent me over there just so I could be like a lolcow for you guys, right?
Yes.
No.
I have a
Okay, I know what they're talking about. My dad said that my mom should go hang out in Riza and other people, like these kind of English guys Discord, so that she could get to know how to use Discord or something like that.
his side at that point, right? Like, you
No,
were okay. So then I would say, like, why, if he's a narcissist, would he
because
send
he's
me?
dumb. Because he's dumb. Because he
He's
didn't
not
understand the
dumb.
situation.
No way.
No. Okay, so maybe he's not dumb, but maybe he's not the king of getting everything he wants. He sent you over to us. We liked you. We liked hanging out with you. It was a fun night. It was funny. It was funny having. It was funny having Tropical Pete sending penis to you. We all laughed. It was like ha ha, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's not the king of the trolls. This is what you got to learn. Ben's not the king of the trolls, bro. He's not a he's not even a troll. He did a stream the other day where he told us how sad and lonely he was,
Mhm.
and then he did another stream tonight where he did a hot tub stream.
He
What
did
stuff
this
is he
good.
know?
I thought
Ben
that
loves
was
you,
good.
Courtney. Ben
Yeah,
loves you, Courtney.
but that's not
Not in the way you're
trolling.
saying, Spicoli.
It's not trolling. He
Yeah, I don't
can't
think he
troll
thinks himself
anyone.
as a troll. I don't think. Why?
Well,
Okay.
he's not a troll.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a troll. He's a kind of he's the kind of guy who kind of wants to put too much out about himself. Look,
Why doesn't Ben come on here and talk to you directly?
yeah,
No,
whatever.
no.
Yeah,
No.
whatever, bullshit idiot. What I'm saying is, like, I know what Ben's name is.
Mm-hmm.
I know what your name is.
Mm-hmm.
What's my name?
Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy. What I'm saying is, you don't know what my name is because he's not a troll. He's not a troll.
Right. He's not a troll, but I feel like we're losing focus, Riza. Like,
Yeah.
so we're talking.
Okay,
We're
Mummy,
talking
put me
about
back in my
Courtney,
place.
Okay. That's a good one. My dad says, "I am not the king of the trolls," but that's what the king of the trolls would say. I don't like. Okay, I'm not gassing my dad up or whatever, but I just every frame of him in the hot tub is just hilarious. So, I think it's I don't know. I mean, is Rizzo a bit insecure? I don't know. Like a 40-year-old man who's saying like, "No way, you're not the king of the trolls." Okay. Rizzo is sexually obsessed with me for real. He is. He's obsessed. He doesn't talk about me. He talks about you all the time. I think he genuinely is. No cigarettes yet. Very impressed. Well, you must not have been here, John, because obviously watching a stream of my mom live, I've already been through maybe 3. So, but I wanted to get back to Oh, David said, "Hey Grace, miss you." Lol. Hi David. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. Yes, Grace, your mom. So Mike said, "Yes, Grace, your mom was increasingly threatened by your attractiveness. She already had a wounded self-image." Yeah. Yeah. The thing about, yes, she had a wounded self-image, right? And it gradually she saw that I was hitting puberty. She saw that, whatever, if you want to say I'm attractive or whatever, obviously I'm a 10. But she saw that I was getting more and more sort of sexually mature, and she hadn't dealt with her own sexuality, and her marriage was falling apart because of her. Whether that's her fault or not, she blamed it on me, which is horrendous to do to your daughter for just hitting puberty. And yeah, I think that is what happened. And frankly, she's been angry at me for 5 years for that. for being sexually mature. And I saw Seamus said this, which is, it's just about like, this is the soul of my mother speaking. Probably she perceived you as a threat because, and it doesn't make any sense, by the way. I'm going to just absolutely destroy this. She perceived you as a threat because you always wear slutty clothes and makeup, same as the other girl who thought her boyfriend liked you. I'm noticing a pattern. Yeah, I'm noticing a pattern too, Seamus. Women whose relationships don't make sense because of what they're doing blame other women who are just for being attractive. They externalize the problem and blame other women because they don't want to deal with it themselves. Correct. Also, why? So you're siding, this is like demonic. So you're siding with my mother, perceiving me as a threat to her marriage. Because even if I did wear slutty clothes and makeup, which I don't, but even if I had, and I especially didn't back when I was 15 or 16, but even if I had, why would a mother perceive that as a threat to her? She might say like, well, I don't approve of that, or I think she's going to get herself pregnant, or that doesn't make sense to do with yourself or whatever. But no normal mother would say this is a threat to my marriage to my husband. Right, Seamus? Right? Seamus fears and hates sexuality, obviously. Oh. I'd bet anything that Mike S. has made peace with his father. And Mike says, yes, I have. Yeah. Mike seems like super grounded. I would, if Mike, if you really have made peace with your father, like, can you tell me, like, you don't have to, but you could tell me like what happened between you and your father and how you made peace with that? Like, were you angry at him and then you got to a better place, or have you just always had a good relationship with him? Because it does seem like you've been through some suffering and you understand what's going on here. So, what happened to Courtney when she went through puberty? That's what I want to know. Oh, you mean with her mom? Well, at that point, her dad left. See, I believe this. Her dad didn't leave. Her dad divorced her mother when she was 12, so she hadn't hit puberty, but at that point, really. So was her mom jealous of her? I don't think so. But I do think what my mom's mom, my grandma, did to my mom was she did the typical sort of bourgeois thing, like I think she called her like slutty a couple times, but she didn't really care about her. I'm sure she did feel threatened, but there was nothing to feel threatened about. Like, my mom only had boyfriends. She wasn't going to steal my grandma's husband away, so there was really nothing like that. I don't think it was that pattern. I don't know. You could ask my mom. I'm not saying that to be a jerk. I'm just saying you could ask her. I think my mom had a series of boyfriends to try to get her mom to pay attention to her and to lash out at life. And I just don't think her mom really cared. I think her mother was obsessed with herself, so she didn't really care about my mom's sexual life or, what she did. My mom cares in great detail about my sexual life, but only in reference to her. I think if I had a boyfriend and got myself pregnant, my mom would she'd only be interested insofar as she could manipulate the situation so that I was depending on on her for help. Which is probably why I would get myself pregnant in the first place, to get attention from my mom, right? So whatever, it's all crazy. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mike. Mike says, definitely. I resented my father. He is more talented, brighter, more successful. I had a choice. Hate him or come to terms with it. Really? Wow, that is not what I've heard from a lot of people. So you were envious of your father. He's more talented, brighter, more successful. I had a choice. Hate him or come to terms with it. Mike, what about your mom? Like, did she resent your dad for being talented and bright and successful? because I feel like without the mother element there, I feel like most kids, like if it's healthy with the mother, that they'd just be proud of their dad and that their mother would have built the kids up enough that they wouldn't be jealous of or envious of their dad, but that they would, you know, just kind of feel like, okay, I love my dad. He's so bright. He's got so much talent, but I have my own talent, and my mom is sort of, he wants to help me. You know, I don't know, because it seems like if it's just you and your dad that, and it was healthy with your mom and everything, that you wouldn't resent him. But maybe you would. Maybe that's just something that happens. Okay. Let's see here. Let's bang for mom's attention. Grace. Yeah, well, I get that you're sending this ironically, and like, Steven, none of your jokes hit, so just, I don't know why you keep coming back to this channel, but I'm not gonna ban you, but I'm just gonna tell you that your jokes don't hit. And it's not funny, the sarcasm or whatever, because it's true. Do you know how many girls act slutty for their mom's attention? It's not really for their dad's attention. Because it's not really about their dad. It's because, you know, they want to, they're angry at their mom and they want to lash out and, you know, make her pay attention to them. That's why. You don't think that's why? You don't, the thing is, when girls act slutty, I think what's really, like in high school or whatever, or in college, what's really what's really motivating that is that they want their mom's attention. They don't want their dad's attention. I was gonna make a point, but I lost my train of thought, so let's just move on. I act slutty for Grace's attention. You're working in a food truck right now, Radio? Is that what I'm seeing in the chat? You said that the work is slow. New pickup line. Hey, you know what would get your mom's attention right now? It's true. It's true. It's true. I don't know how to tie it in exactly, but it is true. That's what girls do. They want to get their mom's attention because their mom is cold, probably, and also is weird about sex, and it's just, you know, it's sort of like the perfect merging of two worlds, right? I think a lot of people's I had a friend who her mother was extremely cold, just very nerdy, and her mom was the oldest of like 8 kids, and they were like, you know, they were like normal. They weren't like Christian homeschoolers, whatever. They were normal. They lived in a wealthy part of the city. Her mom was extremely cold, and she didn't exactly act slutty, but she was like bisexual and all that stuff. And she did a lot of things desperately for her mom's attention, because I think her mom just never gave her validation. Just never. Her mom acted more normal than my mom. Like, she would say like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. You're going to whatever college or whatever," but she just was never warm to her, as far as I saw. Just never ever warm. And that friend was like emotionally just crazy. And she would do things like, you know, what she would do is, I remember this is kind of a funny story. I liked, you know, whatever. I liked to sort of get my, okay, let me start over. I went over to that friend's house with some beers in my backpack, which is, you know, whatever, but I didn't wrap them right or whatever, and they were clinking around, and I was shoving one of them in as I was on her back porch, and they had a camera. And apparently what she told me was that her parents saw, they were watching the camera, they saw me with the beers, and they didn't say anything, but then she got in trouble after you know, I slept over or whatever. But what actually happened was they never saw the camera. They never saw the camera, they never checked it, they never asked her. She asked me to come over with some beers, and then she told her parents about it, because she had some kind of like a guilt complex, and then she blamed it on me. And she eventually I pieced the story together. Like, your parents checked the camera, like, through all that time, and they noticed me. And I was like, I didn't even remember shoving a beer in the backpack when I was on your porch, because why would I do that? I would have already prepared it. Anyways, I'm losing track of my story, so sorry about that. Hubert says, you never address my chats. Why do you hate me? I don't hate you. Am I not addressing your chats? Send me a chat. Oh, why do they want their mom's attention? Oh, because if you're a girl and your mom is very cold to you, then you feel very, like, you just are very disconnected from your femininity. And I don't know, like, it's weird. Like, you'd think your dad's validation means a lot, and it does, but like, if you're like me and your dad has always been like nice and supportive, but your mom is just ice, you really crave that. You crave warmth from her, because she's sort of like supposed to be your best friend, right? I don't know. I guess I don't think a lot of people have that relationship, but that's sort of what it's supposed to be, right? She's supposed to. I mean, there's things you want to talk about with your mom that you don't want to talk about with your dad. There's things you want to ask her about, and if she's just ice and never gives you any warmth or any validation, you just can't help feeling rejected, right? You just feel like super. Yeah. Lauren says every daughter wants her mother's approval once she is past puberty. Yeah, I don't know what the psychological reason is. I mean, it's the adult woman who's closest to you and knows you the best, and it means something because your dad is sort of like the female part of it. Like, your dad can approve of you, but the sort of like, you want another woman who's been through the things you've been through to sort of help you through them, and I don't know, give you like validation, like you're doing a good job. Otherwise, you're on your own, essentially, with a lot of things. I could tell you some stories about puberty, man. I mean, I don't want to get into it because that stuff's gross, but man, was she cold. I can tell you, and I'm sure this has happened to other people, but when I was 12 or something, I had to beg her to get me a bra because, I was developing and it was getting really awkward, and I was like, I have to get a bra. I can't walk around like this anymore. And she just, oh, she was always busy. She just wouldn't, like, I was like, come on, Mom, I barely ask you for anything. Please, can we just go and get a bra, a training bra? Like, I was, I just have a lot of sympathy for myself because I was just desperate to do something with her. And I remember, like, I looked up, like, different types of bras, and I was like, can we just connect on this level? And she was just like, she refused to do it. And then finally she acted like it was a burden, and she took me to the store, and she, like, forced me to try it on in front of everybody, like, in the aisle. And she just wouldn't, like, even let me go to the dressing room. And it was just a totally, like, awful experience. And I never did that with her ever again. And I just totally didn't trust her. I was like, okay, well, I get it. You don't want to not even make this a special experience. Just like, just even have, like, the dignity to just, not make this embarrassing for me. And, like, not, she had me try it on over my clothes. Obviously, I didn't take my shirt off. But, Tom says smoke. Yeah, it is time. Thank you, Tom. And it wasn't, it would have been fine if she had made me do that and then she laughed about it or whatever. And she was kind of like, sorry, I just got a little crazy there. But she just, it was the same with makeup and everything. It was always like it was a burden to her and she didn't want to do it with me. And I just didn't understand it. I just was like, isn't this supposed to be fun? And I didn't trust her with that stuff again. Cause I just thought, like, you know what? You're just, I'm not saying you have to make it some kind of an amazing experience about, like, discovering my femininity, but wouldn't you wouldn't you think it would be fun to go, like, you've been through this, what is the threat to you, like, wouldn't it be fun to, like, pick a bra with flowers on it or whatever and say like, oh, I think this will fit you or whatever. And it was just like, just a horrendous experience. Just so like cold and awful. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to get myself to the store. Like I can't do that again. Wasn't fun at all. Why not? Why couldn't it like anyways, it's just stuff like that just sort of like, okay, she hates her own femininity, Grace. Yeah. I mean, I think she was like, maybe it was because she was like uncomfortable with breasts or something like that. I mean, I would think just any normal person would say, like, okay, this is not a threat to me. It's like a tween-age girl who's obviously extremely vulnerable and is not asking for much. But I guess, but what does that mean? She hates her own femininity? So she hates the fact that she has breasts and she hates the fact that her daughter has breasts or whatever? What I guess so. She just but I would think even a woman who's a total raging cunt is like usually like has some compassion or whatever, just like some normal just like response like, okay, I'm gonna try to make this a comfortable experience because obviously puberty is insane and it's it's funny, but it's like it just was never any connect. I remember I tried I I was a cute kid, man, because I really wanted to connect with her. I really wanted to, have girly things, and I would try to relate to her on stuff, and I would try to say like, anything, like underwear or any I was kind of out of touch with it, obviously, as you can tell. So I was kind of like, well, I would look up YouTube videos of other girls talking about it because I just felt like I'm trying to connect with her on any level, like, and still I do that, like what kind of guys do you like, or, is this a cute actor, or whatever. And she was always weird about it, and she just, this is kind of sad, but if you need to process it, go ahead. I do need to process it, because I haven't really I I think you should bottle up your feelings. Yes, I agree. Let's bottle them up, twist them tight, shove them deep down, and that way we'll definitely have no problem ever. I'll be okay. Too bad Grace didn't have an older sister, a kindly aunt. Yeah, I tried to connect with my aunts too. They were super cold. Super cold. I'll tell you a story about my aunt. So I was desperate for female, like when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I was just desperate for older women to like somebody to connect with. And I was in the car with my aunt Mary. I'll say it, Mary, whatever. And we were driving around, like she came over for Christmas and we were going out to get like maybe some shopping or something, like some groceries. And in the car on the way back, she says to me, she goes, don't tell anybody this, but I think it's kind of weird that your mom and dad call each other mom and dad, because my mom and dad did do that. Like my dad would go like, hey mom, can you grab that, or something like that. Well, I think a lot of married couples do that, but whatever. She was kind of like, I think it's just kind of weird that they do that. And Auntie Lauren is here. Well, so anyways, I was 8 years old, right? I think I was like 8 years old. This is Christmas, right? So we come back and I told my dad, I was like, Aunt Mary thinks it's weird that you and mom call each other mom and dad. And she was at the kitchen table, and I remember I thought it was kind of funny, and I was like, well, obviously this isn't like a real secret. I remember, I can do it for you. So I told him that, and she could hear it. And I remember her looking over at me like this. She looked over at me, she was like, and I was like, whoa. I mean, it like disturbed me. And I think even my mom and dad were like, what? What? But I was just like, oh, I made her mad. It was crazy. It was just absolutely crazy. She was so mean to me with this ridiculous tidbit of information that I thought was funny. Anyways, she had problems of her own, obviously, but she was just, she was like pretty and she dressed nice and she was rich. So I was like, she never took me shopping and I'm not a victim or whatever. It's just like, it was just weird. Like, I guess this is like all the women in my mom's side of the family is just like super cold and just like don't want to connect like as girls. She sent me a Sephora gift card, like an automated email on my birthday. And I was like, all right. I appreciate it, and I'm not whatever. I get you're trying to do what you're trying to do. It's not all Mary's fault. I guess I'm just trying to say like there is a lack of connection with any femininity or like being kind to younger girls in my family that is just bizarre. Just absolutely, it's just really isolating. Anyways, I've gone on a tangent for. My dad says, I don't actually think her mother's failures during puberty, etc., are a big deal. Once Grace gets beyond it, she will not care much. Yeah. But I mean, obviously I haven't gotten beyond it, right, yet. Because I understand you could say, like, I've talked about this before, and I have, like, not on stream, but I have talked about this before, but I don't know. I think that's true. Like, I think the problem is, here's the problem. When it happened to me at the time, I said, oh, I don't care. I'm not going to care. That didn't hurt me, right? So that I didn't process it. I didn't deal with it. So now I kind of have to go through it, and then I really won't care. But when you have the experience, and of course, when you're like a teenager, you're like, oh, that didn't hurt me, whatever. It didn't affect me. I'm not going to let myself be vulnerable. So you just kind of, you just don't process it. Anyways, I think that's what I have to do. I have to process those kind of things. Because at the time I said like, nah, it didn't hurt me. No way, I'm fine. Praying and going to church fixes so many problems. It can lead you to a greater understanding of God. I know it will help, Grace, if you're willing to try it. Seamus, I should try to pray, but I kind of, I've gotten a lot of signs from the Lord through YouTube. And I know you're all going to say that sounds crazy or whatever, but I can tell you it is true. And I think this is, I don't know. I know it's dangerous to say this kind of stuff, but I think this is like the best thing I could be doing right now. And I don't think prayer is the best thing I could be doing. And it is kind of, I'm not like, I think it's what God wants me to do. I think this is what God wants me to do. So with that, I'll have another cigarette. And Trope says, good news is you'll treat your daughters differently if you have them. Well, that's what I'm trying to do here because I really don't want to do that to anybody else. I don't think my path in life is going to be to have daughters, but I would like to be at least a nice aunt and not have the same, like, replay the same trauma. I would really like to not do that, which is why I'm kind of going through this. Lauren says, you're so young, it'll work out in the end. Just do things differently than what you experienced. Well, but you can't really just do things differently if you have a pattern, right? You have to kind of face the pattern and face the lies behind it. You kind of have to look at what happened and really say, like, what happened.
Just watch the video of your mother. That's where you'll be in 30 years.
My dad says, just watch the video of, I should just watch the live of my mom. That's where I'll be in 30 years. Super champion rocker. Grace is killing it on her stream right now. Courtney is talking to some low energy retard. That's why he's a super champion rocker, because he's my super champion.
We'll reconvene in a couple of months when you found out I'm right. Okay.
All right. So wait. So super champion rocker. one of my 8 viewers. Thank you, Super Champion.
A super champion rocker.
He's
Glad
a
you're here,
super
bro.
champion, yeah. But he said Grace is killing it on her stream right now. Courtney is talking to some low energy retard.
Grace's stream.
He's not low energy. He's drunk. Kind of. You're not really drunk right now, are you?
I'm top.
Are you? You seem so together more than usual.
No, I'm top, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wish I could drink with you actually, but I gotta drive, so I can't.
Well, we were a drunk drive together.
Oh,
Don't
you know
remember that conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I get
man.
my studio together, maybe I could have a few more. It'll be more fun. I don't have to worry about stuff. All right. So Provo, who's apparently hopping between streams, is saying Grace is victim maxing right now.
Fuck you, Provo.
The one thing I will say
Nice.
to Grace, which I think is very true, is that I think Ben is right, and the psychiatrists agree. Like with the narcissist, not that I'm a narcissist. I don't think I'm a narcissist, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. But okay?
Why don't you want to be a narcissist? It's okay. I'm a narcissist.
No, he's not.
No, you're not. I don't. Well, I don't.
I
know,
am.
but he's
I
not seem
am.
like it. No way. No
I'm
way.
a super narcissist. You guys, I'm the best man who ever lived. Or
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, no, but like I mean, a
You don't
narcissist
have to
is a
support
guy
her by
like who
lying.
wouldn't be able to like. He has to have everybody under control.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough. That seems like a sort of something you're not going to get to do.
What do you mean? Like you can't get well, like a narcissist.
Well, I'm sure. Well, maybe someone could do it, but I mean, I couldn't do it.
That's why you're not a narcissist.
Right?
You're just a great man. You're just a really good guy. That doesn't.
But I might just be a shit talking idiot. How about that?
Maybe. That's fine. You can be that too. I don't care.
Yeah, I do.
So Indigo, your bestie, is saying that we have a good chemistry.
I hate Indigo. I hope he gets cancer and dies. If you're here, listen to the show.
I think I'm starting
Fuck
to
you,
understand.
Yeah, they do have good chemistry. Two people who are not dealing with their issues, and they're commiserating with each other in their misery. So, yeah, I agree, Indigo. I left that awful stream just to come back to it. It is, thank you, Super Champion. It's an awful stream. I'm watching my mom absolutely just not deal with her issues live. She's just not gonna do it. It's been an hour and 42 minutes, and she hasn't, I don't think she's mentioned her mom once, but I mean, she is going over this video, 10 signs of narcissistic victim syndrome, so maybe she's brought up her mom, but it's an awful stream. I guess we'll.
No, I can't. I hate him.
Really?
He's the most. No, he's honestly he's as boring as what's that guy Ryan?
Nah, no way.
Yes, he is. Yes,
No.
he is. Oh, he's as boring as him.
No,
And
he's not.
You can say no as much you like. Exactly, they are exactly as boring as each other.
Haven't you ever listened to his streams? They're awesome. They're good. They're
No. It just sounds like molding. It's a molding stream.
It's not. Okay.
Well, you can say that. It's fine. We have a difference of opinion. It's okay.
Okay, that's fine. I think that's just going to happen a lot. But all right. So he wants to know a story from a time that I felt happiest in my life. I was thinking about being in love, having guys like being in love with guys and having them love you. That was pretty happy.
Do you have like a picture of you when you're like?
When was she ever in love? She's never been in love. You know what she means by that is back when men used to find her sexually attractive. That's what she means. She doesn't mean love. She's never told me she was ever in love with anybody, not even really my dad.
Sexual obsession.
And you notice she said back when men used to be in love with me, and then she switched and said, well, when men were in love with me and I was in love with them. What she means is back when she used to be able to sexually control men, she used to have sexual power. That was the happiest time of her life. She doesn't mean love. That is a total lie. That is a total lie. She's never told me she was in love. I don't think she has the capacity to be in love. So even if, like, that's just not true. That's just a total lie.
Holy or something. I don't know. I think he's
I think he should blow his nose.
You know, he's a wow, good guy. All right. What the f is this ortho for you? I'm just talking to Riza because
he's very online time, and I'm sorry, ortho, that when I'm talking on the stream that I'm not reading your comments. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry,
he'll
bro.
be okay.
I hope so. I'm not sure he will be, but I'm sorry, dude.
We won't bring him on so he can't respond.
No, that's disgusting. She should be honest that she does not mean when she was in love. She likes saying that because it makes her sound like she's not being honest. She should be honest. It's okay to say the happiest time of my life was when men were sexually obsessed with me. That's okay to say, but don't say back when I used to be in love with guys and they were in love with me. That's not true. She's never been in love, even by her own account of things. As far as I've ever heard, she's never been in love. So she's just not being honest. She's just sitting here laughing, giggling. She's just not being honest, even with a question that has nothing really to do with her mother.
Other people on a bus, and there was this one kid there. He was a little bit younger than us. He was a teacher with us, and his name was Cody. And so I was with Ben, and I really liked Ben. We weren't married yet or anything, but Cody was sitting next to me, and I noticed his thighs, and like I had a whole bunch of reactions, if you know what I mean. I was just like, ah. It was just a funny story because it's like a guy's.
Yeah, my dad says, weird that she says this. She always told me her happiest days were when the kids were young. I mean, she never really told me when her happiest days were, but I kind of assumed that that's when they were. I mean, I guess she's being honest in a certain way that she actually wasn't happiest. Okay, whatever. I think that you should be honest about that. She should be honest about that her happiest days were when she was sexually attractive to men and she could get them to be obsessed with her. That's okay to say, even though it's obviously up, but that's okay to say. But not only is she lying about that and saying it's when she was in love with people, with men, which she wasn't, but she just totally doesn't mention when we were younger. Okay, all right. I guess that's the truth. My dad says she told me that when she had you, her first child, she was elated. Yeah, she has said that it was one of the happiest days of her life when she had me. Like that I was this wonderful gift from God that she never expected to be in her life. She doesn't mention it at all. Okay. That's something. I mean, geez. Okay. Jeez.
No, it ended because I went to university. And,
I don't know who this is. Like the ortho bro, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. I don't know why.
You're right, bro. Blow your nose, dude. joking.
Says
You don't have
you
to
just been slurring and mumbling the entire time. You fucking
I'm only
shut the fuck
joking.
up.
I am only joking. Don't blow your nose. Just keep going, dude.
So what is this stream? I've only just came on. What's going on?
Well, I was gonna go through like me, like my mom being a narcissist, and like what that must mean about me, and then how that might have affected the way I've looked at Ben all these years. But
Oh,
then
we're still
rather,
doing this. Fucking hell.
well, don't you think I have to get through it? And don't you have to get through something too, Ortho?
Why? What do?
Yeah, you do.
How about you clean up your own backyard before you start going at me?
I'm not gonna come at you because you're so private, but
I want to respond to this. My dad says, I think, to be honest, she just wants to be irresponsible. Yeah, I mean, I think really she is obsessed with sexuality, and I think her entire life revolves around whether men find her sexually attractive. And all she really wants to do is, she doesn't want to have sex. I know that. She's not like sexually a healthy person. Like she doesn't want to have sex and be really intimate. She just wants to have sexual manipulation over men. And that's really what her whole life revolves around. Marini says, how many guys was she in love with, and how many guys does she think were in love with her? Well, she's told me she had a boyfriend when she was 15 or so, and he took her virginity, and then she had a boyfriend in college.
Why do you say it took her?
Why do I say that? Well, I mean, I said he took her virginity because, yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, I mean, that's true. She wanted to have sex with him, so he didn't take something from her. I guess I just said that because,
I don't know if she wanted to.
well, he didn't, yeah, I mean, he didn't take her virginity. It's just, yeah. She freely gave up her virginity to him. But, anyways, she's told me she had, like, maybe 3 or 4 boyfriends. She never mentioned she was in love with any of them. And really, she never even said she was in love with my dad. She said she thought he was a great guy and she really wanted to be with him, but she's never really said she was in love even with my dad. So yeah, I'll take one for the team and do it with Courtney. She doesn't want that, John. She doesn't want that. I can tell you. She has said to me that she thinks even the fact that animals have sex is like offensive to her, like it's repulsive, like she wishes sex didn't exist. So she doesn't want to do it with anyone. My dad says, I think she wants to go back to New Orleans and be a drunk and a stoner. Yeah, I mean, I think when she's on stream with these guys, she kind of feels like she's back at the bar and like she's the cool girl hanging out with the cool guys. And she's hoping that like they find her sexually attractive. I'm sure that's part of it, even though she'll say, "Oh no, I know I'm an old lady." Maybe she's just trying to be provocative with this RZA guy. I don't think she's been especially provocative. My dad says, what if she doesn't care in the end? How long should we keep pretending she's going to get it together? Yeah, I mean, she never addressed the issue for a second. That's true. She hasn't addressed the issue at all. At all. At all. From what I've seen. I mean, this is okay. I just want to tell you guys like what my thought process is. So I guess I'm saying to myself like, okay, don't, of course, this isn't that big of a shocker. Like, yeah, after all this time, of course, she doesn't really care. I mean, she wants to just be on YouTube, which is essentially a bar. And, oh, yeah, someone should pop in and tell her to get back to the schedule. Right, but Brittany, she's a 50-year-old woman, and here's the truth. She knows that I mean, I go through physical pain every day because she's not getting it together. And I'm not saying she has to get it together, but it is the truth that like I wake up crazed. I have like I can't eat. And I know you're going to say, "Oh, whatever." But since things have been getting more like since I've been having more of a crisis, I really don't eat much. My stomach is constantly like in anxiety knots. I feel like I'm going to throw up half the time. Physical pain, Grace, don't be a victim. Well, I'm just I'm just trying to explain something. So yeah, it's partially my fault that I'm like that. My dad says, at Lauren, why shouldn't I just find a good woman and take the kids and tell her to get lost? I don't know. I mean, she's showing no sign at all. And you could say that my whole thing here is just a LARP. But at least I'm trying. I'm getting into it a little bit, right? I got into it about my mom and the puberty thing. It's not that hard. It's actually quite relieving to talk about that stuff. And the only thing I'm really worried about is like, am I playing too much of the victim? But other than that, some people throw themselves away. George Floyd, for example. Yeah, I guess like I've never really considered like, what if she just doesn't care? Well, what I was trying to say was, that I go through physical and emotional like torture every day because of the position that she has put me in. Now, whether that's her job to like it's my job to get myself out of this position, but it is true that because of what she's done, because of her mother, I am like I do experience a lot of pain, okay? And I have to deal with that. I don't need her to deal with that, but it would help me a lot if she did deal with it. And she's just not gonna. I mean, I like. You can watch this stream. Let's see.
Oh, you mean like a hookup? Yeah.
Well, I'm
you
just
want a hookup?
saying, like, okay. So the interesting thing would be like, if you, kind of secretly did this, so nobody knew, and you had like a secret friend who was like, so like
on secret.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get the picture, Courtney. I get the picture. Wink, wink.
Nobody
wink, I get
can
the
know.
I mean, she's acting like a teenager. She's acting like a teenager. And I act like this sometimes when I get guys on my stream. Hang on one second. Somebody's at the door. Sorry about that. I guess that wasn't really anything. Oh, Joey, but I think he just hit the door because he was running. It's the takeout. Okay, my dad says, Grace, remember when mom left before? After a month away, she didn't want to come back. Yeah, that's true. My mom left. She was she was living at our old house before we sold it, my childhood home, and we were living in a rental house, me and my dad and all my siblings, and that's true. She lived away from us for a month, and she did not want to come back. That's true. She didn't. She just really didn't. She came back for like a few days, and then
No, you're the one who suggests to come back.
Right. That's true. Okay, my dad said I was the one who said she had to come back. That's true because yeah, everybody was crazy, including me. And I remember, my dad was kind of saying like, mom is so crazy. Why don't we live apart from her? And everybody rebelled, including me. Nobody listened to him. I felt like I was, being burdened by having to be the mother again or whatever. And I was angry. We were all angry at her. Well, my dad said we were angry at him, not her. Yeah, we were angry at my dad because our mom wasn't there. And we felt like it was his fault. Because he wasn't nice enough to her, and if he was just nicer to her, then she'd want to be our mom. Yeah. She was the victim. He's just going to the bathroom. What do you guys think about that? My mom lived apart. Regardless of what happened with us, my mom lived away from her 6 kids, and my youngest sibling was 8 or 9 years old at the time, Joey. She lived in a different house from us. We didn't really contact her for a month, and then at the end, she didn't want to come back. And all of her kids were so confused. I really do think we were angry and confused that we didn't have a mom. But we took it out on my dad until he couldn't take it anymore. And then...
That's where the incest thing started.
Is that when it started?
Yeah, because John found a text from you.
Yep.
Through your phone. Found a text from you that was whatever.
Yep.
Told his brother in the middle of the night that they needed to leave.
Yep. When we were living at that house without my mom there,
because whatever, we jumped all the crazy people.
My brother went through my phone. My brother John, he went through my phone and he found a text from me to my dad that was a joke, and he freaked out, and he told my younger brother that him and his younger brother needed to leave the house, and it was it was crazy. And it got to a point where we kind of, I think my dad said, like, you guys don't want me to be your parent. You want mom to be your parent. So, we kind of forced him to have her come back. And I think she came back and he left, maybe, or they were there, but they were in separate rooms. And she didn't want to be there. I just really don't think she cares about us.
Yeah, I think she
I just, well, I'm gonna watch a little bit more of the stream just to
Close at me on my birthday.
Yes.
And I was like, and you're just like, fuck you, that is so gay. And like the whole thing is, I was like saying like, yeah, that is gay, that's gay. And I felt like really ashamed of myself, and I was just like, well, that's not the whole story. But like I felt like nobody like would get, like, nobody, I couldn't tell the whole story about it, like, and it just sounds so pathetic and so like, well, really, was it that bad?
What you're saying is the whole story was worse than what you said.
Right, but like,
I know, because it couldn't have just been that. It couldn't have just been your mum throwing fucking clothes out your closet for you to be this traumatized after 30 years, could it? Like, come on.
No, right, but I feel like
no. You're an idiot. All I'm saying is, like, it wasn't that bad.
But it was that bad. I think it was that bad. Like, I think it was. Like, I really was hurt by like what she did to me. I really was. Like,
yeah, but like, what else did she do though? Obviously, it has to be more than that. Right?
yeah. Okay, so um
You want to do the stream and talk about it, so let's talk about it. Stop fucking
Okay.
evading the thing, man.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay,
for you,
so here's
Wisdom.
another thing, and I'd maybe just kind of come like, just like whatever. But like she used to, like she was really angry with my father, and I think she was pretty suspicious he was having an affair. So what she would do would,
All right.
she would cook dinner, and have us all sit down at the time he was supposed to come home, and then we would have to sit there and wait and wait and wait, like maybe 2 hours sometimes, and then it was like the big, um, kind of he comes in and he's like, it's just like a shame. It's like a shaming ritual for him, and we have to be sitting there and like she kind of like it's just all to shame him, and like, and while we waited, she just sat there like, stewing and furious, and we all had, it was just
Did he
super
cheat on her though?
tense.
Did he cheat on her?
I think so, yeah.
You think so, or do you know?
I'm pretty sure he did.
She's never told me that story. I don't know if she's told my dad, but I've never heard
It
that.
shouldn't be like punishing you for it, like making you wait for 2 hours to eat. You know what I mean?
Right, that's all I'm saying. Like, but it wasn't so much the 2 hours waiting. It was like the s- the what would it be called, whatever the atmosphere was in the air was like terrifying, for like, it was just like the storm that like, and it was just like
Oh
nobody
yeah, because
could
obviously you
talk.
knew when he came home there would be an argument and
Right, and she was waiting
drama.
for it and like going through it in her head and like just letting us know like it was like things are crazy. It's going to get crazy here. So, I mean, that's one thing.
Oh, it's like making you like
But that,
afraid of your dad or whatever.
well, just afraid of anything that was going to happen, like anything at all. Like, didn't, it was just so much anger, so we're just sitting around her anger and like getting angrier and angrier as the time goes on, and getting more and more scared about like what she might do.
Was you angry at your mother, or was you angry at your dad for like putting that onto your mother for you to be punished by her?
I was at that time, that was before he left, I was mostly angry with her, I think.
All right.
Because yeah, I didn't, I kind of liked my dad, to be honest. Like, so I didn't care that much. Another thing she
Well,
I was,
did.
I
but
was,
then you didn't
I
like
was
him
having a
after you left.
right. I was having a
Oh yeah,
fun time, but now I'm gonna go to bed because this is boring shit.
All right,
Kill
Riza.
yourself. Kill yourself,
All
you
right.
pair of faggots, whatever, bro.
All right, keep
Bye.
drinking,
Thank you
bro.
so much,
That's gonna
Riza.
solve all your
You're the
problems.
best.
All right,
I
bye.
love you. You're the best.
All right, yeah, fuck off.
Thanks for coming. Okay, well, yeah, Riza, it's like it's hard to get into it with him, so, but I do appreciate him.
All right, it's all down to Daniel yes again. All right, let's go. Dying the stream yes again.
Okay. All right. Well, the thing about it is like I
The
do like
fucking New York therapist over here.
Yeah, he does kind of.
You're gonna have to start. I know we're gonna have to start giving you some.
Another thing that's interesting about this is that she, Riz is obviously just absolutely disrespectful to what she's supposedly doing. I don't know. She tolerates it, so that's fine. But she says she loves, like, she's always super nice to people who are super aggressive and hostile, and she just assumes that Daniel's gonna stay around. I don't know. It's just interesting. She's always just very just gives people who are rude to her just total like freedom, leeway. I don't know.
But so like I sometimes have been watching these psychology screams and like streams, and they say like, mothers are supposed to be caring and unconditional love and like make you feel safe, and like it's totally the opposite, like totally the opposite. There was nothing like that. The problem, Daniel, is I just feel like I'm saying generalities. Like I'm just not like, I just not willing just to get into it and just say like what the fuck happened there. But okay, I will say that she had a nervous breakdown in front of me. And I don't know if you've ever seen anybody have that happen, but it was so fucking
Well,
scary.
I've seen that. All right, don't wait. I've seen that before.
You've seen, yeah, because yeah, right. It, she just kind of gave up mentally and like just
Yeah.
It was just terrifying what she did. And like part of me says like she could have stopped herself from doing that. Like she didn't have to do that. And it was like one of the worst things I ever saw. And it was so scary and so disturbing. And then like she got whisked off to the hospital and got taken care of, and like we were just left. I don't even know who was staying with us, but like
What did she do, Courtney? You're evading it. Like, what did she actually do?
Good for you, Daniel.
when she had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, what did she
Yeah,
actually
what did
do?
she
Like, did she
do?
like hurt you in any way or?
No, it was like a performance almost. Like I was sitting, I remember we were sitting on the couch and like she stood up, like it was in the den. It was a weird place for us to be in. She stood up like 2 feet away from me, and I can't remember if my
Yeah.
sisters were there. And
Mhm.
it was just like it was like watching somebody go insane. You know what I mean? Like she literally like just like it was like the moment when somebody goes insane. Like she did that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like before that she was
So
normal.
she was like very neurotic and started like waving her hands about and shouting and going over
No,
herself.
it wasn't like going crazy. It wasn't like I'm angry
Oh.
or I'm out of control. It was like it was a mental breakdown, right? Which I've always felt like, wow, things must have been really bad. Like,
So she was like uncontrollably crying or something like that.
It was all just a narcissistic show. That's what my dad says. Yeah, and well, my mom literally screamed into a pillow because of tech problems, which is disturbing to watch. And she's had breakdowns similar to what she's describing before in front of all of her kids. She screamed at my younger sister and brother that she wasn't their mother anymore and that they should fall for something like that. So that was also a show from my mom. That wasn't real.
went into like something that was like it's not like a normal person. Do you know?
I don't know what you mean. You're not describing it properly, to be honest.
Okay. Well, like people, people can get mad and they can like they could
Yeah.
really lose it, right? But
Yeah.
then like they might start doing stuff that's like
Yeah, the screaming, my mom screamed earlier in her stream because she had a tech problem and she like screamed like a crazy person. It was unsettling. I mean, the thing is like I'm kind of not willing to admit that it's unsettling because I'm kind of like, well, I understand it, but um now that I think back on it though, like when we were younger, I don't know, like I want to say she didn't act like that. She definitely acted like that more in the last few years, but yeah, she always had I don't think it's I think that screaming was a show on the stream. Her mother was my dad says my mom's mother was lethal. Courtney can't disassociate, that's why she doesn't want to live. Her mother was lethal. My mom can't disassociate. Yeah. She can't say my mom is a different person than me, and she hurt me and she shouldn't have done that. And she's wrong for doing that. Oh, Robo's on. And if she can't say that, then I know what she's saying to herself. She must be saying like all of these things she's saying about her mom are also true of her, which is also what I'm saying, and it's this insane cycle, but she has to say that she is not her mom. I don't know if you guys heard that. Somebody just screamed.
Other than that, how you doing, Ortho? Sorry to cut in on your
It's okay. I think you'll be good on this stream actually, because don't you know stuff about like psychology and children and stuff like that?
I don't know really anything, but what I do know is that this stream is probably going to grow so fast that it's going to ruffle some other Thorp feathers. But
Yeah.
If they could all unite, it kind of might be like the Power Rangers, where if you get all three of these streams running at once, you might really have a Thorpocalypse, as has been said before. But just great to say. And you're right, Ortho. I might have a thing or two to add, but maybe
I want to ask you something, Provo,
Go
because
ahead, go
Ortho's
ahead.
just being like super thick-headed
Mm.
about like what it would look
It's
like.
called tough love. I'm trying to help you here. You're trying to like avoid the stuff and like.
I'm
know
not
what I
trying
mean?
to, but I'm trying to describe to you because it's important for me that you understand
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is
Yeah.
to watch somebody have a mental breakdown, like, and to say,
I
like,
know what it's like, but it's like undescribable.
okay,
I
but,
can't really, and I know you can't describe it either. Like, it's just
okay,
like it
well,
depends on the person.
Mhm.
It depends on like the situation and shit. So I can't like describe it really. I mean,
all right, well then,
so I understand where you're coming from. So I don't
because,
really.
yeah, you were saying you didn't
Hey,
understand,
who's
like
fidgeting with Velcro?
me.
Okay, you need to stop that.
Okay, I just did. Sorry.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Keep going.
Okay. Well, I wanted to know from you, Provo, like, can you imagine, like, do you know, understand what I'm saying? Like when somebody kind of loses it in front of you and it's not just like out of control, like even like homicidal rage, like, but like just they just mentally break down in front of you.
Yeah, they're too exhausted. They're overwhelmed, overstimulated. You see this with people who are disabled, right? So they become overstimulated, and sometimes it results in self-injurious behavior. So I've seen this like in severely disabled people where they have meltdowns, and then they'll just start. So I've seen people pull their toenails off. Right?
Mm.
I've seen self-injuries like hitting, slapping your face, total meltdown when communication isn't being made, proper communication. So I've seen kind of meltdowns, lots of different kinds of meltdowns where you're just like shocked by the way. You're like, holy shit, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
And I've experienced, I've even had my own.
This is true. This is the point I was trying to make. She says it was terrifying for a mother to act crazy, yet she acted crazy a couple hours ago. Oh man, it's crazy to see this, really, because her mom did this kind of stuff, like, like pulling out her hair, like, crazy. My mom's done that, and I've done that. So, and it's all just a show. We're not actually. I mean, it's the difference between go away, Fido. Is it like real? I don't know. I mean, if you put like, it's not real in the sense that like if you put a gun to my head and said stop doing that, I couldn't stop it instantly on command. Like, it's screaming and acting out like a child is only done to garner attention, to appear vulnerable, so people say, "Are you okay, honey?" Yeah. Yeah. And I've done it. I've screamed and acted out like a child. I mean, it is true that sometimes, yeah, I agree. Even if you're having like a really difficult moment, it's just childish. You're just being childish. What was Courtney's sibling situation? Having two older brothers shaped me in many ways, as far as acting out emotionally and the type of feedback I got from that behavior. She had an older sister and a younger sister, and she was extreme. As far as she's ever told me, she was very abusive of her younger sister, and her older sister just sort of.
And she would lash out.
Yeah, my mom would lash out at her younger sister, and in the family. But my mom's older sister just sort of dropped out of everything and just said, like, I'm just going to go to school and do my chores, and like she just was like went robot, you know what I mean? She just didn't deal with anything.
And it's probably best to talk with, I'm not a professional, but professionals about this stuff, and you can work through it. And my other advice would be ayahuasca, Courtney. You know what I mean? Go do some real drugs. Okay, go to South America. Okay, and book yourself.
Not this hippie bullshit, man.
Oh, it works, dude. It works, all right. And whether people like it or not, it does help you work with some of these things you're dealing with, right? Because they're unresolved trauma. That's probably what you're calling it, right?
Mhm.
Unresolved trauma, and you're trying to work through and process it.
Mhm.
And all you're talking isn't really, I mean, you could talk about these events, and it helps, but there's a deep level of processing that needs to occur on some higher level.
Yeah,
You don't-
Courtney, like you can't really like logically come to a conclusion when it's like a spiritual problem. It's like a spiritual problem that you have.
No.
Like talking about it and like logically going over it over and like you've been doing this for 5 years, Courtney.
Yeah.
Talking about it. It's not helping whatsoever. You need to have like
That's where he's wrong. She has not been doing this for 5 years. She has not been, and she's still not doing it. She has,
He's trying to keep her from
and he's trying to keep her from doing it, right? She has not been doing this for 5 years. She has not been saying, I need to confront this thing with my mother. And we're 2 hours and 20 minutes into this, and she's maybe gone over it like once or twice. Well, she told that story about her when her mom went crazy, but actually she's never really gotten into it once in 2 hours and 20 minutes.
He didn't say anything about it.
She doesn't say anything about what happened to her other than she just tells the story, and she doesn't say like how it made her feel or how she processed it or what that feels like coming back. She's just not dealing with it. But if he wants to say she's been avoiding dealing with this for 5 years, then sure. But every time she tries to do this, people come on and say, you've been doing this for 5 years. They misunderstand. She has not been doing it, and she's still not doing it.
They don't want her to do it because then they would have to do it. You think Riz and Ortho don't have unresolved issues themselves?
No, I do. Yeah, they all do. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Ortho and Provo and Riza, they all have problems. I've gotten to know them a bit. They all have.
Just trying to run static on her behalf.
Yeah, that's true. My dad just said they're just trying to run static on her behalf, and that is actually true. That's what they're doing. They're coming on this stream. They don't want to actually see her do this because then they would have to say like, okay, I have to do this because I can't make excuses. But they can see she's not dealing with it, and they're coming on and I don't know, they're filling in the time, right? Saying you need to try drugs and you've been doing this for 5 years, it's not working.
He brought him back. He kind of got him back on his feet, and then the brother, so the guy was all messed up, went to go see this woman. I can't remember, but like the kid ended up going with the woman, and it was like, that's why you shouldn't walk away, because
sometimes that happens.
Well, because like it's better that kid is with their mother.
Agreed. And can't you still walk away and be with your kids?
I don't think so.
Why not? Where's the evidence that says otherwise?
Like walk away, like, well, because like if I don't like get it right, then like they won't be. I won't be helping them like to be with them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I'll be like, okay, fine. I'll have my own like little lousy apartment, my own depressing place. These places, Willowbrook, Meadows, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? These apartment buildings.
Yeah.
And like they'll come over and I'll drive them crazy. And they'll be constantly confused, like, why is it like this? You know what I mean? Like, why is it like this? Like, why can't you function with our father? Like, why is he so scary?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll never be able to make sense of it. That's why I can't walk away.
Is that okay? Can it be okay? They don't make sense of it though. Can these things just be what they are? Like it can just be okay. They don't understand it. There's things I don't understand. I can't understand. And that's the way life is. Like this idea that everybody needs to understand everything and everything needs to be all hunky dory. Why? Like where?
And aren't they going to resent you anyway if you just walk away and don't like explain to them like what happened? They're just going to resent you and then you're going to feel abandoned and have issues anyway. Isn't it better?
Is Provo suggesting that my mom should walk away?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really understand. Like a lot of people when they get divorced or annulled or whatever, I think they just go separate lives, right? I just don't see how like the kids are going to be able to make sense of that. So like,
so you're saying you can't.
You'll notice what's interesting about this. I just noticed this is, I believe what just happened is Provo said maybe you'd be helping your kids best by just walking away from the whole situation because you're never going to figure it out, something like that. And when people suggest that to her, she always says like, well, I know that I'd be leaving them in a bad place. But you'll notice she never, ever says, I'd miss my kids too much. I love them so much. She never says that. she never says that's maybe a reason that she doesn't want to walk away. It just doesn't occur to her like, oh, I'd miss my kids. I want to be with them. I love them so much. I love all of them, everything about them.
Hey, you're an adult, right? Like try to figure it out. You know what I mean? Life doesn't have
Can't they like talk to you and the dad like themselves when like they're older and stuff and like figure it out themselves and stuff like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, but I don't know. I guess I don't know. Most people think that you can divorce and like it's okay if the parents hate each other. I think that like until I can,
Isn't
know,
that gonna create like a worse problem? Like if you both like together and you both live like in the same house, whatever. I know you don't,
no,
but
no,
like
no, yeah, it's not
if
like
you're both
that.
together, then
No, no, no.
obviously you're gonna make it worse. Why can't you just separate
I
and like
am
try to work
separated.
on yourselves?
Yeah, no, I am separated, and it's never gonna like that. It's like it's not. It's there's never gonna be like a coming back together. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that like there has to be something that happens separately now that I have to do. I can't just walk away. And plus, Provo, like I think it's really damaging for the kids. Like I really worry about like uh I think they had a good childhood, but like I think it's been long enough now that like they're really struggling and like to just kind of like say and walk away. Like I don't see. I think that they could get into some bad things.
That's their choice though. Like they're still people. They're still responsible for themselves, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's what life is. Life is up and accepting your responsibility. You're saying your kids are going to up in the future and you don't want them to feel that personal responsibility. You want their own ups to be placed on you. Like, does that make sense? Like, when I hear you, you don't want your kids to experience life, experience their own thoughts. You want to create a narrative. You want to spin a tale, or I don't really understand it.
Mm.
Right? Like, let these kids, let them be adults. Let them. I know you have younger ones. Work with them in the capacity you're thinking, but as far as your older kids are concerned, like they gotta grow up and having and
Yeah,
understanding that
100%.
your parents are parents and they have dysfunction is part of that, right?
I
I
know
don't know.
the parents are human beings. I mean, parents aren't perfect. I mean, like
It's hard to be a parent. And the other thing is too, your kids, regardless, should all feel blessed, right? They're all healthy in some regards, like fully ambulatory. They all got their legs. They all got these are big deals most Americans don't even think about. They all have a brain that works, okay? And they all can create a future for themselves. And we're having a pity party about this, and I don't get it, right? A pity party about fully able young adults and young people growing up in a world filled with opportunities and they have all the advantages before them, and we're like trying to feel bad for your kid for mistakes they haven't made yet or the fact that their parents don't love each other.
Sorry, I'm muted. That is such a stupid take. Of course, we're physically yes, we should be grateful for physically being okay, but you don't understand. I'm telling you. You're saying, yeah, them kids, just do you. I mean, I don't think Provo realizes what he's saying because if he understood, like, this is what people say. They say you're just acting like a victim. I thought he was joking about that, but I guess he's being serious. Like, I'm just acting like a victim of her. I mean, that I can just say I see my brothers. They're not doing well just because they're like mobile and functional. You're just gonna say like, well, them. I mean, they have deep patterns. They're all depressed essentially. My brother comes on the stream and calls me a whore, or on voice call and calls me a whore and condemns me to hell and whatever. It's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not too. Like, he has serious problems. I have serious problems. My dad says maybe it's time to be honest, Grace, and call it on your mother. What is my hang up? What does the chat think? What does the chat think? Because what I'm saying to myself is, okay, yeah, I have no real evidence that I shouldn't call it on her, but I kind of feel like I can't do that, and it's like, but I just feel like that's totally irrational. I feel like I don't want to say like, okay, I get it. She's never going to get it together. But like I think that that's true, but I don't want to say that until I really believe that it's true, and then I can just let that sink in and then move on. I don't have kids, but I do work with them and have done so for almost 2 decades. This Provo guy needs to be shaken.
Like a 3-hour live stream and like behind the scenes, like they're depressed and fucking shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Here's another thing too. I like this angle, right, of trying to solve these problems. I really like it because it opens the door for sponsorship. And I'm just saying, BetterHelp.com better come towards the Thorps because it is one of these.
You know, it's funny
go ahead.
that that's who I went to get my therapist.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And he's a good guy, but like, I mean, I was playing videos of primal screams therapy, and it seemed more like kind of I don't know if you saw at the beginning, it seemed more like kind of what I needed to do, because this guy is just talking about like cortisone and dopamine, and like it's all like, yeah, these things are good. I mean, it was only one session, but like these things are good, but like, I mean,
Yeah, obviously it's
like
going
you
to take
said,
some
like,
time to get to know you and get to know your problem. I mean, like you said, it's only one session.
but here,
My dad says, me and Grace take the 2 remaining kids and hire a governess. God provides us with a wife for me and a mother for you. A nice woman. Sweet Tea says, yeah, will it to happen. That sounds great, honestly. That sounds great. But I guess I'm just saying, like, I need to be I need to get there. I need to get there and just say like, yeah, she doesn't care. She just doesn't care. Cause I don't know. Maybe it's every bad instinct in me, but I feel like I have to be honest and say, I just can't quite believe that she just doesn't care. I need some resolution. Yeah, I need some resolution. Why should 7 people's lives be hinging on one person who has lost hope and fallen into despair? I can't answer that question except to say that she hasn't lost hope and fallen into despair. But how long can this insanity go on for? She doesn't take it seriously, Grace. Let's wake up, sweetheart. How long ago was this recorded? This is live right now, Kevin. This is her stream. This thing right here is live right now. She doesn't take it seriously. Okay. God will take care of us. Hasn't he always taken care of us? Yes, he has always taken care of us. He's always taken care of us. That's true. He has always taken care of us. Seriously, he's always taken care of us. Courtney doesn't deserve to stay in the house, in my humble opinion. But I've been here before and I've said, like, yeah, she's crazy. She really doesn't care. And then what do I need to figure this out? What more evidence do I need? It sounds great to me to get away from her and just say, like, forget it, it's over, but I just want to do that cleanly. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. She's your mother, so that must be hard. Yeah, but I believe that I can.
What about when we called and Maggie wanted some food?
Well, I can tell you,
A cup of noodles.
she has a very sick relationship with my siblings because I remember
No, the bugs.
Oh, yeah. So my mom was over here and my sister was back at my mom's house, and my sister was sick, and she called us, and well, we called her and we were like, can you stay there without having mom back? If you're sick, just get yourself some noodles and stuff, and just take a nap, and she'll be back later. And my sister goes, well, what noodles do you want me to make? Because all the cup of noodles have bugs in them. And this is the third or fourth house that my mom has gotten from my dad, essentially, and bugs in the food is just it's not acceptable. We have tons of money.
Doesn't do anything, ever. Doesn't clean, doesn't cook. Doesn't have healthy relationships.
She doesn't clean, she doesn't cook, she doesn't have healthy relationships. And I'd be willing to, it's fine, that all of that would be fine, except for the fact that when she has an opportunity to face what's going on, she sits here and does this.
Like, kind of create a fractured mind, like.
No. Not at all.
So you're saying you're a different person if you have inner thoughts? Is what you're saying?
I'm
So
saying if you're
if
talking
you-
to yourself as if you're a child and you're saying, like, it's okay, little Courtney, it's okay, and you're actually calming down, isn't that kind of crazy?
Is it crazy if you're an athlete and you're visualized winning the game you're about to play tomorrow, and you feel this calming sensation where you might have felt anxiety before the game, but now that you're visualizing the game that's about to happen and it going well, you feel a reduction in anxiety. So to take your point, you could apply this idea of visualizing all across the board, and people do it all the time. No, it doesn't make you crazy. Right.
Well, I'm not, when I'm talking to, but maybe you're doing it differently, but like when I was talking to me, I was like talking.
Rini says, at some point, it's like you guys are enabling her behavior, and it's sad that the little ones are suffering because of it. Sweet D says, I agree. She wants out, Grace. Let's let her go. Well, I mean, okay, God is always taking care of us. What the f do I need her for? What the f do any of us need her for? She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she doesn't have healthy relationships for all of us. How old are the ones living with her? 10 and 13. How could you possibly keep her there? When you stop enabling people, it usually becomes a sink or swim for them. Yeah, and I think she'll sink. Even for her sake, it's never going to work this way. But what about all the problems? What about, like, put me aside. What about the fact that, like, she's manipulated all of my siblings so that they are going to feel bad for her if she gets rejected? If It isn't our problem if she sinks. No, it's not our problem if she sinks. It's not. It's not. It's not anyone's problem but hers.
Outlook, positive outcome. Today's going to be a good day. I think people are going to be nice to me today. And you start changing your outlook, right? And then your brain will say, let's find that person who's going to be nice to us. Let's find that reason to say we're right again.
Okay,
You
but
get
wait
that?
a minute. Wait a minute, Provo. That all sounds fine and good, but
It is
if
fine.
yeah, it does sound that way,
It
but
works
like
for
it
me.
okay. I'm glad. But for
Mhm.
me, I would be like, if I woke up and I said, like, I'm gonna be positive today, I'm gonna think that things are good, then there would be like, so I'm like going against
Your
it's
conditioning.
yeah, and I'm saying like now I'm living like in a super weird world.
Yeah, where things might go well.
Yeah, but I'm forcing myself. I'm saying that, but I don't believe it.
So
Like,
you're okay with doing it on a negative end, but not okay with doing it on a positive end. So you're okay starting out and saying, my life sucks, things are going downhill, and you don't mind fortune telling in that way, but you don't want to be nice and say things are gonna go well. You like, and this is
that's
a
a
thing
good
I see.
point.
I
That's a
see
good
this
point.
with a lot of young men
Mhm.
who are always right, and they're always right because they're naysayers, right? And that's my whole point. It's like, well, if you never try anything, if you never do anything, and if everything's always going against you, you're always going to be right. So like you deal with these young men who are always right. And why are they always right? It's like you. Well, of course my day's bad. What do you mean? Nobody likes me. Well, everything's going against me. My family. It's just like, calm down, buddy. Start talking to yourself differently, right? You don't
Well,
know
Tony, it's
everything.
the same thing with the negative outlook locals. Like when you always think, because you're always saying that you're confused and you don't understand and all this, but yet you're always like thinking
Oh,
yourself
let's
negatively and doing
bring that
negative
back up.
actions.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Bring
sorry.
Eco Evans back up. Eco Evans,
Oops.
talking to
Wait a
yourself is the
minute.
road to neuroticism. It's a funny thing because autistic people don't talk to themselves sometimes, not all of them, but they think in pictures and concepts. So to even talk to yourself, by the way, is a neurotypical, it's a normal thing to do. So the fact that Eco Oven is already trying to say it's a disability. You're neurotic if you talk to yourself. No.
Isn't like
Most
thinking
people,
to yourself?
most
Wouldn't thinking
people
to yourself be like that as
yeah,
well? So like
most people like if you're a carpenter, you're talking to yourself. This lathe is working nice. Oop, now let me trim this up here. Most everybody's talking to themselves unless they're autistic and seeing in pictures and concepts.
Okay.
And you get
yeah.
to choose that narrative. You get to choose to be a negative Nancy, or you can be positive. But like if you're negative all the time, you're automatically default most often you're right. You know.
Okay. So Super Champion Rocker, who obviously is going to be right about everything because of his
Some
name. Some people are too attached to drama and victimhood to take positive control of their lives.
Sure.
Yeah, that's like some people are
Maybe. What if we just need, like, yeah, to be honest, I think we're all so used to being abused that we're afraid to be happy. Like me, I feel like I don't deserve a nice wife. Yeah, I can see that. What if we just need a clean break from all of it? I mean, it's that's what if the problem is that the fact that she's in our lives is constantly confusing and she just needs to be out of our lives permanently? Couldn't that just be better? Like just I'm just imagining myself right now like I'll never see her again. What do I need her for? What do I need her for? If your mother is unable to change to fit what you need from her, then how do you ever move on for your own happiness, Grace? Yeah. Grace, you need to be willing to do this. I agree, I need to be willing to do this. Don't be a negative Nancy, be positive. Jesus, probably. What am I holding on to? What am I holding on to? She's never given me warmth. She's never given me support. She doesn't cook. She doesn't clean. She doesn't have good relationships with my siblings. What am I holding on to? What? Swim with the fishes permanently? It would be better if she was dead. It would be better if she was dead. Honestly, it would make everything so much easier. It'd be better if she was just dead. I wish she was dead. I don't know if I'm not supposed to say that or whatever, but it would just be easier. You weren't willing when we tried it in the past. I know I wasn't willing. I know I wasn't willing. See, Rini says, hope that she'll become the mom you guys need her to be. I don't think I should hope. I think I should cut her out of my life and never speak to her again. Never speak to her again. Is that what I should do? Just never speak. I should act as if she's dead. It may be important to be honest and say that. I mean it right now when I say it. I mean it. I wish she was dead. I wish she was dead so that I didn't have to make this decision. Good night, Lauren. Thank you very much. I think we're doing something really good here. I think this is really good. This is really good. Yes, okay. You'd probably then internalize it and say something like, if only she had more time to be who I needed her to be. Right, that is something I've said in the past, but who do I need her to be? What? What am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? It's a lie. Isn't it a lie? It's a lie that It's a lie that I need her for anything. It is a lie. What do I need her for? What do I need her for to do that I can't do? I mean, isn't God doing something here? Maybe I should just trust God, and maybe it's not up to me. What if it's just not up to me, really? What if I just say that this is what God wants? I mean, obviously, I didn't suggest to her that she does a stream today. I kind of said to myself, like, because I was thinking about doing a stream today, and then she said she was going to do a stream, and I was like, okay, this seems like the Lord wants me to do this, because I didn't want to do a stream, but I kind of thought I should. We can have hope without needing her to be a great mom. Yeah. Kevin says, you're afraid of forgiving her and letting go of the resentment. I don't think that's what well, is that what I'm afraid of? I think I'm afraid of I think I'm afraid of saying that she is a bad person and that she is lethal to me. Not so much forgiving. Maybe the resentment, but I actually think I'm not saying that I should forget her, but that I should say that I should never speak to her again. Whatever she does with her life, that I need to say she has done wrong to me, and it would be I would be self-sabotaging if I interact with her again. My dad says, Grace, has Mom in 5 years of chaos ever expressed hope or joy? No. Genuinely, she hasn't. Not once. The only time she's expressed any joy is when I saw her on that stream, on this stream, saying that her happiest moment was when she had sexual power over men. That's the only time. When has she been happy about anything? When has she been happy about anything? Has she ever taken initiative on anything? Nope. I don't think she's I can't name a single thing. Not her stream. Not her stream. Not that. Not the house. Not the kids. Not clothes, not a hobby, not anything. I didn't say forget. Forgiving her for the wrong she's done to you will release the resentment. I don't think I need to forgive her as much as I just need to say that she has done me wrong. See, I think the resentment comes from the idea that she's like not so much for what she's done, but that she's not helping me now when I need her help. Let's trust in God and stop the insanity. I'd love to meet a nice lady who could be a nice stepmom to you. I would love that too. What do you guys think? I really like the idea of saying that I know I need to be willing, but maybe I just need to be willing to say that, like, I'll let God do what he wants to do, because maybe the Lord just it's not really up to me. It's not about my decision about her or anything. It's just that he's just showing me something that's obvious. Let's change my stream to let's find out a nice supermodel. I would love a nice stepmom. Honestly, you have to accept the fact that she doesn't have the ability to help you. Can't you see that? I love that you're saying that, Kevin. Thank you. I love that you're saying that. Well, do I have to? Well, okay. I mean, does it matter if she has it or if she won't do it, if she can't do it? It doesn't matter, right? She's not going to do it.
Well, isn't it that she has power over us now? Isn't that what she's doing?
Yeah, that she has power over us now, but
isn't this thing her thing is power? Right?
Yes.
She has power over us because she can go on the stream.
Yep.
And not do what she needs to do.
Did she end the stream? Is that it? Well, I think that's my answer, folks. I think that's my answer, that she just ended the stream right there. Well, I'm just saying she's out, right? She didn't do it. She ended the stream.
You didn't watch the stream, did you?
No, not really, but I isn't that kind of providential that she just ended it right there?
Grace, please sit like lady.
Please sit like lady. What did she say? I don't know. I was gonna let's go back and see what she said. You know what? I don't care what she said. I don't care what she said.
What, Grace, let's just tell the chat that we really appreciate what they've said today.
Yeah.
Really, really, really appreciate it. I really genuinely appreciate people saying this may be a lost cause.
Yeah, I want to tell you guys, I really appreciate it. I mean, I think,
It's
yeah,
really important for other people to say
that
like,
that's
to look at it and say like, yeah, I don't think it doesn't make sense.
that timing was savage. Not gonna lie. Yeah, thank you, Rini, for saying. I really appreciate everything you guys have been saying. It's really it's really important to hear it from somebody else.
And all the nice people are saying it, and all the losers,
Yeah, all the good,
people we've come to trust seem to get it.
all the people we've come to trust. Yeah, all the chatters who seem reasonable. You guys all seem to be saying, you just seem to be saying it doesn't make sense, and it's just so helpful to hear it from somebody else. Because you know what it does? When it's outside of the family,
Can't see it clearly.
yeah, I can't see it clearly, and you know what? It makes me feel like it makes me feel kind of ashamed of myself for hanging in there this long when you guys are just saying like it doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, Jesus, okay, yes, yes.
Well, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, but it's a good kind of shame. It's like okay, yes, move on. Like this is true.
Doesn't it feel good to say like, yeah, maybe my bath today was a baptism? You know?
Mm. I mean, I can't like I just it's kind of it's good to have it with other people because it kind of feels like okay, it's not insular. Insular?
They've got no skin in the game.
And you guys have no skin in the game. You guys, it doesn't matter for you. If she does want to change, she'll realize you guys are serious and do it. I don't think I can care. I don't think I care even if she does change. I don't think.
They're not saying you can care.
Yeah.
I think that's just a sober opinion.
And it is enabling. Thank you for saying that, Rini. It's enabling. Because look at me. She's got me watching a stream of her where she goes for almost 3 hours and doesn't do. I mean, what more evidence do I need, right? She's got me sitting here hanging on her every word. I mean, when do I realize that this is sick? It's not easy to hear Ben. He's behind the wall, so he's.
Well, what do you think about finding helping me, just being open to a beautiful woman who can help us out?
That sounds great. A beautiful woman who can help us out and be a stepmom. That sounds great. But well, why do you don't have to do that. But if you wanted to,
think I'd like to have sex with a beautiful woman?
I think you would.
Is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong at all.
Well, I saw myself in the hot tub stream. I think I'm still in the game.
My dad said he saw himself in the hot tub stream and he thinks he's still in the game. I agree. I think you look great. I think you could totally get a good looking woman. It makes perfect sense, Grace, to be honest. Stop effing about and cut her off then. Yeah. I mean, I'm yeah. If you married some woman who is nice and pretty, I mean all of our problems would be solved, honestly. None of us would care about her.
Well, you know, your siblings may not, you know, it's not going to be easy for them. John.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for them. But
whatever, 3 of them live here anyways. They don't ask for her to be around. So it's just the 2 little ones.
Yep.
Whatever, right?
Yep.
They have all these houses. It's one. She's over there. Whatever.
What if she was nice and not so pretty? Come on. I think we could get my dad a nice woman.
Who said that?
Sweet D. Are you offering, Sweet D? Are you going to be my stepmom? You'd regret cutting off any family member. I don't think so. Well, my dad, Sweet D said, sure. Don't tease me like that, Sweet D. I want a stepmom. Obviously, I'm like half in love with Lauren. I would like a stepmom who's pretty and nice. If she's not so pretty, I guess that's okay. Sweet D, hit my dad up. BenjaminSthorpe@gmail.com. Send a picture of yourself.
No.
Hubert says he'll be my new mom.
All right, Grace. I need some more food.
All right. Well, I think that's it. I think that's it, guys. So
let's do something really beautiful for God.
Let's do something really beautiful for God. Let's cut off this evil, sick cycle. And trust in God. Because he's always taken care of us. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you all so much for chatting. It's really, yeah, it's in the Lord's hands. I agree. I don't think it's really my decision. Aren't you aware that you'll be the mom soon and you'll know what not to do? Oh, you mean if I have kids? Yeah, well, we'll deal with that when we come to it. Play the song. Yes. All right, let's play the song. Let's do our outro. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's like the first time I've ever done this with like, and it just, I can't, when you're in a sick cycle, you appreciate the fact that other people have something to say because I would have rationalized it away. And you guys are saying like, and I know whatever, it's ridiculous to take your thing from the chat, but I trust the people who have said things in this chat because it has the sound of truth. When Rini says it's in the Lord's hands, that is true. All right. I'm going to play our outro. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
I must confess, I got regrets. I could have more, but I could have less. And the more that I know, the less I think I know. I get stressed out, yeah, I get overwhelmed. I'm always worrying about my health, but the answer to all the big shit is hidden in all the small print. Let's go for a walk, take a deep breath. All of the flowers are out for you and me, babe. It doesn't have to be painful. I wanna tell you I'm grateful. Let's go for a drive, hit the seaside. I swear it only exists just for you and I. Well, if I'm gonna die, I might as well try to live my life. My sister moved to London in the fall to find whatever she was looking for. Well, she's moving back to the north now, 'cause her friends are bored. I miss my house, I miss my family home. I still remember that landline phone. Yeah, that number's burning my brain, I'll never let it go. Let's go for a walk, take a deep breath. All of the flowers are out for you and me, babe. It doesn't have to be
No, be sick.
Fuck it.